Nifty, you there, buddy? KG Red. Yeah, I guess maybe Nifty lost internet or something. I'm not sure what happened there, guys. I had the same thing. I was looking up and it crashed down. So, like KG said, there'll still be plenty of sponsored tournaments in addition to the daily earnings. And yeah, guys, I mean, at the end of the day, with their model that they're trying to enact here, that when we do start getting in advertisers and people that come into the project because they like the project, believe in the project, I mean, the point of any business is that at some point in time, that 2, 5, 10, whatever percent that's going to go to Bluemint is just going to be, part of, it's like whatever, you know what I mean? It is part of business. You're going to be, as a business owner, like I've got almost 10 packs, right? So, at the end of the day, I'm just going to have to factor in that my 10 packs is going to have, a cost of use involved with it, which is just, it's like me sitting here with you guys today. I mean, I have a cost of use of being here. I mean, I'm working for the 3 hours, not making money. So there's that cost. Yeah. I've got 1, 2, 3 different electronics running, and then that costs me electricity. Plus I got the lights on behind me. I've got my lights in front of me. I like having a little electronic picture frame that costs me money. It's all cost of use. And, that's what I've been saying forever. And one of the biggest things that I try to do in my own channel and my own personal talks with people is that we need to get people off of the mentality that you're going to be making money paying a game, because you're not. Like, you might, and I think that, like Nifty was saying before, I don't know if you'd realize, Nifty, but the stream crashed for a few minutes.
No, and the fact that it's up means it must have been on the Twitch side, because it didn't, I mean, if it would have crashed, I would have had to start it up.
Yeah, so it came back after about 2 minutes or a minute, whatever it was.
It seems like Twitch itself probably did its little glitch out thing again.
Yeah, like Cloud, listen, I understand that too. I hate surprise stuff too, but I mean, and that's why I think that, like, what a company should do is say, we're not telling you anything about earnings. Do you like the project? Yes. Okay, cool. And then once the earnings start to come out, so what would have been a better
we're just circling back to, we continue to overshare, or Grant and the team are just oversharing too much at this point, because then when things have to change, everybody's mad about it. Where if nobody would have ever known, there would have ever been anything to be mad about, right? We would have just been producing the beta for people to play to get the game right, and the earnings would have never been announced, and therefore nobody could be butthurt about it, because nobody would know how the earnings worked. Because they could literally say that they're using a random algorithm. They could have really said the whole time, look, we're using a random algorithm, and until the game is live, we don't know exactly what everybody will earn. And that would have been a legitimately valid answer, and would have been blanketed the entire time and never had to change anything. But as soon as he gave a number, everything got jacked up.
And, I understand the side of giving a number, because people like to see a tangible thing in front of them. But yeah, like Cloud, what I would do if it was my decision is I would know in my head, okay, we could give $5,000, let's say, a day. Like, I'm just using a number. So we could potentially give $5,000. And then all of a sudden you figure out, oh man, well, no, because we're going to have to pay Bluemint to do this service for us, because it makes more sense from a business aspect. So now it's going to cost us $1,000 of that $5,000 a day. I would have just taken, I would first of all never have said to you $5,000, and then secondly I would say, well, now it's only $4,000, and guess what? You don't even know that changed, because I never told you that it changed. So I totally get what you're saying, like Cloud. I mean, yeah, fees suck. Like you go, like it's like you buy something and it's like, oh, a 7.5% fee, but you go to OpenSea and I bought something the other week and it was like, it was like, 10% fee on the purchase. Well,
for OpenSea, it depends on the creator. The creator decides anywhere between 0 and up to 10% per repurchase.
Per thing, right. And yeah, I mean, I hate paying that fee. Like, and I know it's there, I hate it. But it's still, it's just like I said, I would have just never told anybody a number. And then day one, when people started to actually get money, then they go, because then someone goes, "Holy shit, I made $1 today," instead of going, "Oh my god, I only made $1." Like it's the same sentence, but it's two different ways of saying it, right?
Perspectives, yeah. Yeah, no, it's and I mean, like I said, and that's what we kind of started this conversation out with the whole from the beginning is that a couple weeks ago I kind of realized that I almost feel like that our attempt at being open to try to keep people happy is actually the reason for a lot of the problems.
Yeah, and like Cloud exactly, but that's my whole point is that there just should have been no talk about money. Like if anyone could learn a lesson from this whole thing right now is that at the end of the day, we just shouldn't talk about money until we know what the money is. That's all. And then that way you save yourself a lot of these issues because nobody would have us. Like there's a guy that just typed in chat $30 a day, yep. Which was 100% never said. Never once was it said.
Which is still ultimately hilarious.
Nobody would have ever made $30 because because that $30 is dependent on how many people are playing, how many people earned, how many people
you can't really say that because now we're going to give $100 to at least one person a day. So if it's in the algorithm and it's fully randomized, then yes, it can happen. The thing is, they can't guarantee that same person is going to get that same money every single day.
Well, and yeah, I mean, but in the algorithm, you actually can't say that because if you have, yes, someone's going to get that $100, but if you have 1,000 people and $5,000. Someone might make $33.72, right. And the next guy makes $28.50. And if you have 4,000 people playing, then someone makes $29.75, and the next guy makes $24.10 or whatever the number. You know what I mean?
So just depending on their luck for the day. I mean, some people could have, you got at least one of your accounts have extreme fucking luck on them. So you could, who knows? Maybe you catch two or fucking $5-10 fucking drops in the day.
Right, right, exactly.
It just
don't know.
So dependent, and on the amount of time that you put in, and how long we've already proven that you can last fucking at least 57 rounds by yourself in the duos. So I mean, so that's gonna come into effect and factors in it too. So that there will be a lot, and that's 100% why I'm like we don't know what earnings will be until day one. So I'm even trying to stop speculating on that because it's so it really is. It's just so hard because they've said that it's dependent. On how many of the VIP players actually get their wallets played for that day, because that's gonna go into the algorithm. The algorithm's gonna know what hour of the day it is, and then decide how much it's gonna give out during that time. So there's almost gonna be a secondary game by the players to figure out which hours might actually pay out better, and which hours might be the slower hours to maybe avoid.
Yeah, and Grant did say that's they're gonna look at the is 2 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Is that the buzz time when everyone's playing? Because then they're gonna make it so that it's gonna be more of that time of day, right?
I mean, it's so completely up in the air and unknown. And who knows? Maybe we do. Let's just say the fantasy happens. We do get 500,000 players on day one for some crazy reason without mobile, right? And then those 500,000 players are all like, holy shit, we could buy skins and get stuff like this, and we don't have them. And there's only 600 skins for sale right now on the secondary market anyway. So that means they're going to have to try to buy them. Thank you for the follow, Erg. That means they're going to have to go to to wherever they're selling at the point in time to actually buy real loot coffins, which then pulls in that number matrix to a higher daily earning standard. So it could even vary from day 1 to day 7 in a very large amount if the growth is there.
Yeah, and you could have you could have Friday nights as a really banger of a night, so the prize pool goes we just don't know, and that's why I keep saying I think that the best move, and like I said, it's a learning experience. Just don't say anything about money, except for it costs this much to buy the asset. If you want to buy the asset, buy the asset. That's it.
I mean, at this point, I hope that they never make assets again. other than skins and stuff like that. Like only these weapons, that's period. Any other games they come out with, they just have weapons and you can just buy character skins or stuff like that. Or you can just they'll maybe make that the add-on that the next set of NFT releases will be Genesis characters or something. They can be used on all the games or some type of shape or form of that. Just so that it doesn't, ultimately devalue because right, if everything's gonna be cross-usable in the other games, then they can't really release more weapons.
Yeah, and like I think you know me good enough by now, that we're just having a conversation right now. We're just trying to hash out, where everyone stands. And yeah, I love the feedback that you're giving because it makes me think about everything too, right? So I mean, yeah, I know you're a hardcore fan. I think you amongst anybody proved that last week when you friggin' you were like the biggest supporter of Nifty's birthday bash week and
right.
the project.
Speaking
and
of, I'm still waiting on the
and...
rest of those. I don't have enough to send you guys. So as soon as I get the rest of them from Grant, I will start. I will send them out. I already know who I owe them to. So.
Yeah, and I love it, man. Like Cloud, I love having smart people around me that I can talk about things because when I first saw the project, you know what happened to me? I was like, oh my god, holy shit, $10,000 a day.
Right.
And then I FOMO'd into the project because when I heard that number 10,000, I was like, what?
It was a big
10
number.
grand a day? That's a huge number, right?
Theoretically, it still is, though, and kind of because of the reason that they explained. Since it's all going to be, instead of giving it out through, leaderboards or something like that, by giving it all out by randomized play, so mostly, grind play, right? The longer you play and the higher levels you get, the more cut of that share you're going to get, essentially. It is the way to look at that. So exactly. If you only play for an hour, you're only going to get an hour's worth of earnings. If you play for 4 hours and you're pretty good at the game, you're going to get 4 hours of pretty good at the game worth of earnings. It's kind of how you look at it.
And think there might be a day where, only 35 people play. I'm just saying a number, obviously.
No, but you're right. Some holidays, Christmas Day. Christmas Day would probably be a great day to play. So you're exactly right on that, and they'll just be Sundays or Monday mornings, definitely work week, right? Some of us have this perfect job where we actually get to stream and play video games all day, so when we actually get to sit here and do it, we get to do it during the normal people's work hours, and we'll a lot of people are going to be watching us because they are at work and can't play, so they first off want to get their addiction in, and then second off, we'll be sitting here earning during that time when a lot of people don't have the chance to earn. Now that's the other thing of that though too. So it seems like they're going to build the algorithm so that it'll actually give out less money when there's less people.
Which again, that to me is a smart move. Why would you give 4 people the chance of winning $4,000 when later on
you're going to need that money to share?
That money is not going to be there for the people who come in at the like at the 9:30 to midnight rush.
I do like that. So it really does kind of help. Other than giving, you'll have that higher chance of being the one to catch that 100 because that's going to be totally random. It's not going to matter what hour of the day, from what I understand. It'll kind of give you that higher chance of catching that because of playing during lower player hours. But in the overall, you're right. It should hopefully even out if you're only playing for the same amount of time. However, if you start at 9 o'clock in the morning, you go till 10 o'clock at night, you're still going to have the major breadwinner for the day, right? Because you're still going to have those hours in that most people are only able to put 3 or 4 hours in at most.
Yeah, and if you play, again, if you play 1,000 rounds and someone else plays 5,
right?
Of course they're going to have more of a chance, right?
Yep.
And yeah, KG, that's exactly what we just don't know.
Oh no, we actually have said that. Like we constantly say that. That's 100% what I've said this whole time. Is like the more player base that we have, the more earnings there is. So if the dream happens, and we hit 5 million players by the end of the year, then I don't think $1 a day will be the minimum, right? Unless
and if we get 5 million people playing a day, all you need is $1 a day out of all of those people to now you have $5 million a day. Even 1 million people, if you could get 1 million people to get $1 a day, that's $365 million a year, which is a lot more than what we're even looking at right now, right?
Right, exactly.
So.
No, and that's exactly the point. And then, the majority, I don't remember what the exact breakdown is, but the majority of the loot coffins go right back into the player earnings. So. No, this is good. Like I've like I'm not stressed. Like I'm not. It really doesn't. I think maybe early, maybe if they give, maybe early you might notice the fee, right? I think late game, down the road game, you won't even give a damn about that fee. It'll be so minimal to you compared to what you're pulling in that you'll be like, oh yeah, whatever.
Yeah, and then like we've said it a million times too, that asset that you do own is now worth, like your
Like five
0.1 an
times, 10
amateur
more.
pack is
Yeah.
worth a 1 ETH, let's say. Well, you just 10 extra money on the value of the pack. Obviously, this is NFGA. We're just saying numbers.
And
But
this is
if you're
base
if
value, not counting with, extra purchases in
right, right.
investment into it.
Exactly. Like, yeah, you put an MP5 on that amateur pack. Well, guess what? It's now worth,
Yeah.
1.1 ETH and we don't know the numbers for that either, but
Yeah, and I
there's
will be,
so
like you
many
saw the other day,
angles.
we will be covering the marketplace. I did go over it a little bit the other day for what's available. And then as we have, more marketplace stuff to look at through Blue Mint and IMX and all that, we'll be covering all of that here on the show. Mo. Somebody's asking about, they needed to see a how-to video the other day. I forgot, I don't remember where I saw it. I don't remember if it was here or Discord. But we need to make a how-to video about something. I forgot what it was, though. I'll remember later. Right, it just, right, it matters to us now because it's a change. That's the only reason why it matters to us now. It won't matter to us later.
Yeah, and like I said, I mean, I love that. I love that you're in here giving us something to think about too, right? I mean, it's because again, I bought the first day thinking, wow, $10,000, that's 3.6 million a year, and then you go, wait a minute, hang on, that's still divided out is not a huge number, so.
No, but we're all different people, so we should have different perspectives, but also a lot of similar perspectives. That's part of the reason why we all hang out every day.
Exactly.
The people who are completely opposite side of the fence of us are the ones who aren't here every day because they know they're opposite side of the fence of us. Luckily, there's not too many of them. They're generally the ones that are most vocal in Discord temporarily, because then all of a sudden they disappear.
Yeah, I mean, it's like I said, I do understand both sides because I'm also a person with, I'm also a person with more than one pack, right?
Right.
If I had one pack, I wouldn't give a shit about any of it because that was why when we had that debate the other week about the rental stuff, I'm very passionate about it because I do own 9 packs, right? So, it's something I do think about on a fairly consistent basis. I think about because I put in money that I want to hopefully, recoup, right?
Right.
But that's one of my favorite things about Crypto Dragon, where he goes, okay. So I bought this thing for $100, and then we played for Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I got my $100 out. I mean, you'd go to the bar, you'd spend $100 on a round of beers for your buddies and you wouldn't even think twice about it, right? I mean, I would. I hate buying rounds of beers because I only drink one or two.
I'm reading back.
Mm-hmm.
People still going pretty hard at Grant. Well, not people, persons, person, still going pretty hard at Grant.
What was that big long one said? Are you? Oh, that was just
You're
just
only
above.
semi-owner. So. Oh yeah. I forget that you're on a lag. I was back to it already. That was they're talking about if possible NFT thefts, whether or not, which is crazy to even think, whether or not for some reason the game would be like recompense if somebody's NFTs get stolen. I wasn't expecting that. Now I gotta run back and see who did that. Wow, it's Metaverse Joey with the gifted sub. I appreciate you, brother. Thank you. We appreciate you, the two of us.
Oh yeah, we do.
So used to doing it for the last week. I wasn't expecting that. Who got it? Let's see who got it.
Went to Halo 78.
Oh, there you go, Halo. Dahalo. Dalo? Dahalo. Dahalo.
It's like, who's wearing the Halo? I am.
Dahalo. Somebody followed the other day, right after we ended the show, named Death from Above 75. And I used to play SOCOM. We merged. When I left one of my first major clans, and when I leave clans, I don't like take people with me. I'm not like, hey, I'm making this new thing, let's go, right? I just disappear. Like, and I did the same thing when I left, like, TNA for Splinterlands. That's just how I am. Like, I'm not trying to deal with the drama, right? I'm leaving usually because of drama, generally.
Yeah.
So I just disappear and I walk away from it, right? And I just disappear. So then, because I was so good at SOCOM, about half of the clan that I was in at that time, it was called Go 6, seeked me out. You know what I mean? Like, hey, where'd you go? Why don't you just make your own thing and we'll come with you? I'm like, so I was like, all right, fuck it. So that's what I did. So I make our own thing, and then during that time, I was also playing with another clan called Death from Above, which is how I'm circling back to this guy, Death from Above, that followed the other day. I'm still waiting for a message back from him, by the way. If you're watching Death from Above, fucking answer me, because I think he might be the leader of the clan.
Oh, yeah.
From that time. And I'm like, that would be fucking awesome to run back into him, because he was like a lieutenant colonel for the army. And so after we had merged clans at one point together, because we were so like I said, I got into a tournament back then. We were doing it like one of the first big tournaments. It was Risk. It was like you battled twice a week for spots on a Risk board, essentially, and then whoever won the Risk map wins. So it would be like, a 6-month long tournament with 2 games a week, or two.
Oh, wow.
Of 2 nights a week. It would take a while, because you know how long it takes to play a game of Risk. So
yeah.
Eventually they started moving the tournament to just sectors of the Risk board. So like either just Europe or just, you know what I mean, to simplify the speed of it. But anyway, so we merged the 2 clans together, and then when he got redeployed, because his entire clan was all military, they were all army. So when he got redeployed and basically lost command of the clan here within, or at least his sector of it, his number 2 in command decided to go back and redo their own thing.
Crazy.
So that was my first experience with somebody doing it to me. Like just abandoning me and taking half the people. The good thing is the only people that went with him were his people. Like obviously the people that were already originally there with me didn't go anywhere. But I was like, man, that sucks, because that took us out of the tournament. We didn't have enough people to cover the tournament anymore. It just ended up being a bad experience, bad deal. So I learned.
Yeah.
Can't wait for you.
Yeah, like that, exactly. Imagine when there's a time, like look at that one CS:GO skin that sells for $500,000 USD. I mean, if that ends up happening, I guarantee you these people aren't going to be saying anything except for, I made I could make a half. Well, but then they'd complain that they didn't have it. So it's just, yeah.
Well, again, that's like I said. Ultimately, I'm just for this game. For me, on the free-to-play side of it, on most people's side of it, it'll be, oh wow, I own this stuff, and I can show it off when that gets fixed, so they can actually show off what you're carrying. And then I can sell it too if for some reason it's got a ridiculous price going.
Yeah. I mean, you can show them off right now. If you stream, it shows what I have.
Right, it shows what you're carrying.
You can't see it.
Right, which is the ultimate reason why people buy skins. They're not trying to show the skin to themselves. They're trying to show the skin off to the other player when they're playing multiplayer. That's
why I've never cared, because I'm just like, whatever. I'm just like, what? My guns, did it shoot? Yeah. Okay, good.
Yeah. Yeah, as a streamer, you notice it because you notice it. Right, you're kind of looking for that, but as the average player, they're just trying to show off to the other players.
Right.
Because
the Rust trade event was for 1 week. Imagine that money coming into UB. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it will eventually. I mean, I wanted to do it. Sorry about that, but I was going to do a charity stream for the event last week for my birthday. The only reason Reason why I didn't is because when you do a Twitch charity, it takes over your sub button, but and then it makes subbing become more of a hassle because you can get confused and donate to charity instead of subbing. And I was doing a subscription event, so I didn't want to confuse the two. We are going to actually do a probably for the week of actual release, from the 28th until the 7th, do a charity event for St. Jude's.
Oh yeah. What's St. Jude's?
St. Jude's is a children's
Hospital.
hospital. It's a worldwide children's hospital that mostly cancer, but it's for any children or family that can't afford, essentially. Well, even if they can afford it usually, but that just has life-threatening conditions, and then they take care of them. They give apartments and everything, housing for a little while. They bring them to the hospital, the family and everything. It's just everything's taken care of for them. And it's worldwide, so.
Oh, okay.
But their headquarters are here in U.S., so it's easier for Twitch to do it. But
Gotcha.
Twitch has like 1,000 different charities to go through. If you want to just do a charity event, you can just pick one from Twitch, and then all with the button, any donations go right to the charity through PayPal. Twitch doesn't even take a cut for once, which is amazing.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Right, because Twitch wants their cut of everything, so that's a huge surprise.
Yeah. Yeah, like imagine that as an affiliate with Twitch, they take 50%.
Yeah.
Right?
Exactly. You're bringing the viewers to them. But then their argument is they're bringing the viewers to you by offering the service, right? So it should be 50-50. So that's one of those, like you were just talking about, right? Like you wouldn't be able to do it without their service, or you could try to do it on your own personal website, then have fun trying to bring the viewers. So they have their
and
viewers.
have fun paying the monthly internet bill and the hosting fees and the electricity. And
so that's why it's 50-50 until you have enough viewers to be like, oh, well, you're earning more than the average person, so, or you're bringing us more than the average person, so here we're going to pay you more than the average person.
Yeah. And don't they still wind up losing money?
I don't know the metrics on that. I just the only metrics I know is their freaking algorithms, so I can beat them. That's all I know. That's why we're actually, that did you read the other day that I posted that we get a lot of our views, like a good percentage of our views from people picking up off of the in the
CNN chat, the
homepage.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
So our while we don't have 75 plus viewers, our algorithm is still to the point where we do pop up in the recommended channels. So then we do get views from it. And now I have got our tags all figured out pretty well, so that helps too when people just go searching.
Yeah. No, and Lightcloud, you were definitely at the forefront of helping with that.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, we were getting seen before, but then that when you go from, we literally went up 100 subscribers, a little bit more. We're at 162 right now. If I remember right, we started at 62, but then there's a trade-off. Some come, some go during that time because of when they had joined to begin with. Blah 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 blah. So we did get we got over 100 total. I think we got like 118 or something like that total, actually. But
damn.
I actually sit down and do the numbers. I should.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. Okay, I'll be right back, Nifty.
Yep. But yeah, so that helps. The number of subs that we have, the average viewers helps, but it's not as important as the subs and followers as far as Twitch is concerned, because they know that people can just go back and watch the video. I'm going to run an ad. BRB.
The network, a word from our sponsor. The Zombie Network News is powered by FlyingPhoenixPCs.com, Quality Reborn. Go to FlyingPhoenixPCs.com to get your quality custom PC using coupon code ZNNUB at checkout for some amazing savings. They even have pre-built PCs with prices starting at just $700. Support Zombie Network News when buying your new PC from FlyingPhoenixPCs.com by using the coupon code ZNNUB.
Looks like Diamond Hand's gonna join in if he can. Oh, by the way, guys, so for all of you guys that are subs here on the on Twitch, if you connect to our Discord, make sure that you have your Twitch connected to your Discord through your settings, and then that will give you the role of being a Twitch sub in our Discord. Looks like KFCCCCC just joined. And can't figure out what role he wants. He looks like you set it on gamer. I assume you're watching. Maybe that's why you joined. But anyway, so if you are a sub, it will also give you the Twitch sub role, and then Twitch subs have the chance to be involved in this. We have our ARC server. I'll be setting it up by the end of this weekend. It'll be up and running. I have to remember what my sign-in and password are for my frickin' router settings. Yeah. Because I have to open up port forwarding and all kinds of crap like that. And I don't remember what my passwords are and all that to get into it. Once I get that set up, I'll get the whole server set up. But it's going to be, as we see right here, it's going to be a zombie arc game instead of dinos. It will have some dinos, but it will be mostly zombies. I'm going to get rid of all the mean dinosaurs and put zombos in. So I'm going to do a whole bunch of heavy modding. It's going to be set up more for zombie defense and survival than dino type of stuff, but I'll leave the flyers in, Tapaharas, the pterodactyls, stuff like that. We'll leave all that kind of fun stuff in. But it is for subs only. So if you can't see that, but you are a sub, then that is because you don't have your your Twitch connected to your Discord. Any way to turn off that mushroom? Well, I mean, you can go to it and ignore it. Or just ignore the channel. I mean, the announcement channel. And that way you won't get all the messages from it. I mean, I could turn it off, but that's overall usable for the Discord itself. It's part of the integration of what I'm doing with that Discord, or it was prior to just using it for ZNN anyway. But anyways, yeah. So that'll be a fun arc, just something side to do for at the very minimum for the next month. But that'll be up and running 24 hours a day. That server, and it will be password only and for subs only. Just something extra for the subs. We'll do. It'll probably be a 10-person tribe limit. No PvP because it won't be needed when you have zombies chasing you down. And attacking your homes and your houses and your huts. And it'll be on Crystal Isles. So a free map. And I'll probably leave the dragons in too. Wyverns, whatever you want to call them.
What's that for that ARC game?
Yeah, my ARC zombies that I'm doing.
Oh yeah,
zombie
nice.
ARC. Yeah, I was just saying I'm just gonna leave all the flyers in. I'm gonna get rid of all of the all or most of the mean dinos. Just leave the couple of them that are kind of useful. Or maybe needed for the end game. If people want to do end game stuff.
Was it?
Yeah, well, you have to expect to die a lot in that game until you level up some. That just is what that game is. And until you've built yourself enough stuff to survive, you're going to die. It might be a little bit easier at first because of the zombies. Because the zombies, it seems to me from what I've watched, are slow-moving zombies. They're not like World War Z type of zombies. So really, if you die to a zombie from a one-hit shot after day 100 or whatever, it's probably because you just weren't paying attention. Or just weren't being smart. Because like I said, I'm adding a lot of mods into the game that aren't standard. Like even some of the weapons aren't going to be standard weapons of the game. It's definitely going to be designed more towards being a zombie survival arc game than a dino survival arc. So there's going to be different weapons, different building types, different oh, what am I talking about? Like decorations and mods and stuff like that to put into the arcs. Like it'll have a different, image and style and look.
Gotcha.
Image and style that you're used to.
Good old DH in the house.
Everybody, sorry, my alarm never went off because my shit
What up,
died.
Dan?
That was
You slippery fish. That's it. We're not paying you anymore, buddy.
exactly. No more love or subs.
Yeah, exactly. You're just you're going to be all alone on an island.
We'll just
It's
let
so
him-
sad.
We'll let him be here, but mute him and think that he's here.
Yeah,
Right,
it's just,
guys.
we just mute ourselves and keep talking. Like you're like, hello.
No, like we'll just have a conversation with him, but mute him so the chat doesn't hear him. So like he's the ghost in the
Well,
machine.
then it sounds like you guys are talking to yourself.
No, we'll just
Hey,
be talking
I
to each
I
other.
already do talk to myself.
I mean, this is fairly true. I mean, this is what streaming is. Most of us talk to ourselves.
That is true.
Luckily, there's medication for that.
Yeah.
I forgot to take it for the last
The
couple of months.
medication just makes you talk to yourself more.
Yeah, start becoming delirious. Delirium. Man, I'm basically full Grizzly Adams now.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, my beard is coming in full
Well,
effect.
No, we don't see you on camera anymore. You're like me, except for I'm back
Exactly.
on camera.
Yeah, you took it over. Well, ever since this whole little not feeling good last week, I just felt like I would spare the audience that horrific sight. Exactly, KG. You tell him. That's why KG is a spiritual advisor, because he just lets people know. So no work today, Diamond Hands, or you just work later?
No, he overslept.
A little later.
Ah, okay.
Well, I charged my phone last night and the cord didn't work, so I woke up to it plugged in and turned off.
Which
Ooh,
means
it
he
was like
did not
12:20.
charge his phone, by the way. It means he tried to charge his phone.
Yuck.
Yeah, but it's okay. We here. Sorry about that, guys.
Damn
But I
phone
see everything
cord.
that's going on. There's a lot of controversy behind everything. And I think at the end of the day, there's expenses that games have to cover. There's things that go on the back end, and that's the reason they make these decisions.
Exactly. Yeah. That's what we were.
Essentially saying.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's what we were going on pretty well about, and like I was saying earlier that the biggest takeaway from this for me, if I were to ever design a game that I was hoping to eventually pay people because of them playing, I would just make a game, make it great, and then one day when I knew what I could give you, I would just start giving you stuff. But before that day, I wouldn't say. It's like it's funny because there's so many of these old sayings that you heard, like your grandmother say, or your, like me, my grandma was 100, right? So there was sayings from back then that you'd hear them and you'd be like, what the hell are you talking about? But then as you get older and you see things play out in front of you, you're like, oh yeah, okay. So, don't count your chickens before they hatch.
I remember that. Yep.
And it's like, why do you do that? Well, because let's say you have 47 eggs, and then you're like, oh, next week I'm going to have 47 chickens.
$47.
And then yeah, now exactly. You start counting it at, it's $47. Well, then you find out that, a weasel gets into the chicken coop and eats 10 of them. Well, now you only have 37. So if you planned your life around having 47, you're short 10, right? So where if you get 47 eggs and then, at the end of the week you sell them, all of a sudden now you count what you actually have in your pocket, right?
Which would be 0 because none of them hatched.
Exactly.
But at least you'd know that you planned for 0 and now you have 0, right?
Always plan for nothing. So when you have something, it's extra. That's the moral of the story.
I was like my little brother. I used to love when he'd go to work. He's like, he's 7 years younger than me. So when I was, 13 or, when I was, whatever, you can do the math. And he'd be like, yeah, I just went to work and I made $8 an hour and if I shoveled this driveway and you're like, and I'm there and I'm like, I'm just baked, right? So I'm like, dude, you're saying numbers, just too many numbers going on. But I loved it because he would always, he would be like, and then if I cut this lawn and I clean that eaves trough and, and it was actually quite cool to watch someone look at finances like that because a lot of people don't really think in that time frame, right?
Right.
Exactly. People get ahead of themselves.
Yeah, I'm like you were saying last week, it was cool. You're like, if I go to work, I'm gonna have more money to buy more ETH, or buy more packs or whatever it was. And it's like cool to watch you have that mentality of the forward thinking, right?
Yeah, man. Because at the end of the day, things are gonna change. But I support the foundation of this whole project, so that's what really matters.
Yeah, definitely.
Fresh air.
So what time did you guys shut it down last night? You guys were up pretty late, or?
I was up till about 2.
Oh,
He
man.
went to bed around... Well, I was up till about 2 my time. Anyway, I don't know what time he's up till. His time. Your time.
Yeah, I was gonna say we both. At least for my time, it was 3 a.m. and I was like,
Ooh.
yeah, I gotta go to sleep.
Damn. Yeah, no. Yeah, you're like, I didn't plug it. My phone plug didn't work.
Yeah, this morning, so I had these 2 plugs, right? I have like the small one that's short and this long one. And I thought the short one, less travel time for the electricity to travel will charge it faster. So I put it in and I woke up at like 12 something and checked the time and my phone was dead while plugged in. So it was kind of bullshit. But last night was a lot of fun. Like we killed it in Rocket League. Right after I got off, I pretty much had to work on all the clips that we took because we had like 17 clips from that amazing game session. It was insane.
Oh, that's awesome.
The Rocket League has a new game type.
Oh,
Limited-
yeah, I completely
Limited
forgot
time
about
game
that.
mode. So now when you drive around the ball, you grab it, it sticks to you.
Oh.
Yes, sir. Yeah, it changes the whole dynamic.
Yeah, no more dribbling that ball.
No, it just sticks to you. You have to drive it in, and then when to steal it, you drive into the guy and it just blows him up, and you take the ball from him.
Yeah.
The old exploding car trick.
I forgot why I was going to the internet. Completely forgot why I was coming over here.
Oh, but like Cloud says, you could throw the ball off yourself. So you
Yeah,
could
you could throw
pass
it
it to
too.
your buddy?
Yeah,
Yeah,
or just throw it at the goal.
technically.
Yeah.
Or
To
throw
me,
yeah,
it
throw the ball.
seemed like it was like random when the spikes turned off. But if you have a way to control it, because Nifty did see like a button to press.
No, I think that's what the LS button is. The left
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 stick.
stick. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. Like Cloud, I'm not surprised.
I 100% forgot what I was bringing us to the internet to look at.
No, I was gonna
Oh,
say
yeah,
something, but I'm
YouTube.
like, wait, we're streaming. We are streaming, so I won't say that one.
Oh, look at that! Thank you guys for watching on the on YouTube, on the old YouTube. The 2 of you guys that are there, probably KG and I don't know who else. Sorry if you're chatting. I'm not watching chat on
It was
YouTube.
me.
insane endurance run. 4 days ago by Non-Fungible Gaming. It's only 18 minutes. Let's see.
At Wells Fargo,
Ah.
direct deposits come up to
Guy
2
thinks
days
that's
early with every
insane.
payday.
He should watch my 48 hours of footage.
What's up, gang? Welcome back to the NFG channel. Today we are playing Undead Blocks.
You
Now,
tried
this
the
is
basketball
a
or
chain
hockey
game.
in Rocket
If
League?
you're
No,
into
sorry, Bob. I have
zombies
not.
playing Call of Duty, then this is one for you. It's a very similar concept. You run around, you pop zombies in the head, you upgrade your weapons, and you basically see how long you can survive for. Myself and Hysteria give this one a go
My
today.
buddy.
We
His
actually
name?
get quite fast, so the video is quite truncated in
Non-Fungible
parts.
Gang.
In
And
terms
does he
of
have
short
a
runs,
very
like
thick
an hour and
British,
20 minutes.
Brazilian accent?
So here's a little clip.
I don't know.
Oh, you can't hear it? Okay.
I mean, I can hear it, but I don't know if it is Brazilian or not.
Is it an accent?
So hopefully
Oh,
that
yeah,
gives you a
it's
little
accent,
taste
yes.
of what's to come. Let us know in the
Okay.
comments below how many rounds you think we got to before we
It
died.
looks a lot like my buddy.
And yeah, let us know. Go and play this game now. It's free to play. And actually, there's some really interesting things coming to this game this year.
Is that my
so
cousin,
we've
bro?
got NFTs coming to the game,
Yeah.
which
Do you even
allows
live,
us to
bro?
have customization in game. There's earning mechanisms coming. Previously, it was just free to play. It is also still free to play. So go out and start playing the game now and get practicing, because this could be a good one.
Yeah, it does sound more English.
Okay.
Because he talks a little like this.
Gotcha. Yeah, I can't hear it, so I just was going on pure facial structure.
Oh, okay.
Why would you
We're
do such a
playing
thing?
a game of duos.
Are
on
you assuming
Undead
my
Blocks.
nationality?
Right.
So we've just
Yep.
told you a little bit about the game and what you need to do.
Are you
Yeah,
sure it's
I'm an
even a
equal-
him?
Not a lot, really.
I'm an equal
So
opportunist.
We're going to see how we get on. We've played a few rounds. We're finding it really difficult.
Yeah,
at the
I've said
minute
for
to
years,
get into upgrade
I like to
skills
spread my
early.
hate around equally. I'm a hatist.
You need to know where the weapons are. It costs XP to open all the doors and stuff. So having some good fun. So let's crack on with it.
I mean, it's not fair to
No,
just
you can't
hate
do that.
one type of person,
Here
right?
we go. Here we
No,
go.
absolutely
It's,
not.
it's quite tough, actually.
Plus, it's like you gotta schedule it in. You're like,
Yeah,
okay,
you're right. It's quite hard to get.
I'm gonna
through
hate
because
people
you're right,
named
you can't really
Diamond
get good
Hands for
weapons
today,
well, can
you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a
So-
very easily
I
hateable
think
person.
what might be
Captain
worth
Chronic.
shooting
Yo,
any
Captain
of them at the
Chronic
beginning.
is actually
Get them in
the
the line. and then-
running
MVP.
around,
He came in last night, me,
get
KG, and
more
him.
bang for our
and,
buck bullets while they've got
Not gonna lie, he's a pretty damn
Because
good player.
As we go through the rounds, the zombies get more.
Me, I'm like a
XP,
friggin'
and all of a
kamikaze
sudden
pilot
you're having to
in
spend
Japan,
more
friggin' World War
on the
II,
ammo
just
than you
flying
are
into scenarios like, let's
getting
get it.
back
Oh shit, I got shot in the
killing
face.
zombies, so it becomes
Well, yeah, I know. That's why I don't like to jump in a car with you, because
Yeah.
you,
Okay,
you
well, let's
typically
run
seem like
together
you
then,
just
and then
try to
we just
drive
turn
through
around at the same time.
into
which
the
is-
trouble.
Yeah.
Oh,
And then when you
I mean,
s-
I definitely drive into people.
Yeah, exactly. And
definitely.
then, as you say, and then when you see them standing, you just drive
I
us
don't
into
think
a
there's
wall,
too many
and then we're getting lit up
enemies
inside this truck.
Alright, I'm gonna go for some of them now.
Well, the driving into the wall part, that's purely just because it I actually get panicked when I run into them, and I'm like, oh shit, and then I run into the wall.
Yeah.
But yeah, no,
I think it did
the
work.
driving into
Definitely
them,
worked.
I like to try to go on.
Alright,
It's
yeah,
like
so I
bowling
know
with
when
bumpers,
I've
you know, where you have
only used,
those things in the
Yeah.
the whatever the hell those are called.
Yeah, and,
And,
I know what you're talking about.
50 XP.
But I am pretty good at.
500 XP for
I wish you could see the
Gutter.
stat on car kills. Yeah, gutters. There you go.
I think you can.
My car kill stat is
What happens if you don't
unbelievable.
Pretty
have
sure you
enough
can.
XP and then you
They
run out?
track
Oh,
everything
no.
in Call of
If
Duty,
they're not-
so...
Yeah, then I guess you're fucked, mate.
Yeah, I've got more car kills than any other weapon.
But what's also interesting is in the back house.
Oh, yeah, we did a-
Now, if you
We
go in
did
there
the
and go
blow
down to the
6
base,
cars
you can
up
actually level
for
up the pistol.
KG. Fill up, no, yeah, 5 cars, whatever it was.
Oh,
Blow them
six,
up.
yeah, I'm
just
still on that one,
completely
too.
forgot about
Refill
how
all the
to
things and
strategy.
almost got all of his gas
Charging
Trying to
cans
kill one zombie,
for him
so-
in one mission.
Nice.
I'm just following you, mate.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Ditch the strategy. Right, let's take him down that end. Take him down that end.
I'm not sure how it behaves at the later stages, later levels.
At the
but
later
I'm pretty
stages,
sure you will have to start using the
In the
perks
later
that are
levels.
scattered around the map.
It was actually
so-
pretty fun too, because
Here
we
we've
had
got a
so
quick
Crypto Dragon and I were talking about it earlier in the day, where it'll be funny. It'll be awesome once we get the server to where there's, you know, people in different rooms playing different games, and
Yeah, that's good.
and
That's
then
good.
because we could, it was hard to hear what we were saying, and then you guys were, you know, and you guys obviously have to talk too for your game, right? So
Well,
when we
see-
jumped over, it was like the culmination of some events yesterday. It was pretty awesome.
We were actually able to,
It's
like,
actually quite good if you take.
Diamond
them
Hands and I
and
talked
then,
about that right after you left. I was like, well, I get why you left, but I have kids, so it's easy for me to have selective hearing. Like, I didn't even really hear you guys talking. Like, I could just,
Right.
And then
like,
the other
it was
person, like, shoots
very
you on the
easy
side
for me to
or
just
behind.
focus on
Yeah, and make sure as well.
on his
you,
talk.
Use all of
Yeah, it's more for the stream side of things. Like, it
Oh,
wasn't,
yeah,
it doesn't.
true.
Yeah, it's
I
more
wasn't
for
even
like
thinking about that.
people are watching like mine or Diamond Hands, and then they're like, "Who the hell is talking?" Because there's
Yeah.
just
So
know,
much
5
overtalk.
people
I wasn't even
talking,
thinking
right?
about the stream. I was just thinking that yeah, for me it doesn't. I wasn't distracted by other people talking because I don't really hear it if I'm not listening to it.
Yeah, and it's definitely
I personally like it just because everyone in the Undead gang is talking. So if they come to either one of our streams, it's like the whole crew just like talking and.
There are ways to
no,
set up your OBS
No,
so
I love
that
it too, for sure. Yeah.
so that you can turn off our sound and just put yours through to your stream. There are ways to do that. I don't know
Oh,
it
no,
off the
you
top
killed
of
it.
my head,
Oh no.
but you
That's
can
just a
get your
personal
stuff
thing,
set
though.
up so that.
I'm not saying it's bad.
No, I'm just saying
Yeah,
there are
no,
ways
and
to
I
set
do
it up
love it
that
too.
way.
It's
Yeah.
depends on what we're doing though. You know what I mean? Because that is the whole point of that server is to have the drop-in center so people could come in and hang. So it's like if we're playing, like it's different. I think if we're playing,
Show the audience what this gun's
you know,
all
like
about.
let's say we're doing like a mission in DMZ
Okay, what
where
I'll
we
do is
have to
I'll
communicate
round
like,
them
okay,
up.
are we gonna go on
I
the left
usually
side or
pop-
right side?
pop them up
But you know,
with
like
that.
when we're
I'll round them up,
playing
and you
Undead
pop them
Blocks,
inside,
it's
pop
not going to
them.
matter because it
And
really,
then I'll
it's
and
mainly
do
just,
something,
you know,
and
a
then
couple
I'll
people
speak
running
up.
around shooting. There's not, you know, need the strategy.
That's what I mean. That's what me and Nifty were doing in squads.
Right, exactly.
Go on, I've just weakened
But
them.
yeah, I think that, yeah, it's
did it.
definitely,
Behind you,
I
behind
felt like you're like, all right, enough of this. You guys want to go?
no,
It would have been
not at all. No,
hilarious
that's why I'm
if
like,
we would
that's
end
why
up
I'm bringing it
dropping into
now,
the
'cause it
same
was
one though and
definitely
fighting
not
each
bad.
other.
Nothing wrong with that, bro. There's nothing wrong with that. Like it can get a lot.
It would have been great if we would have logged into the same one though and ended up fighting each other.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden we're like, wait a minute, that's these guys. No, I got nothing but love for you guys, man. It was just,
Like,
yeah,
motherfucker, I just got
Oh,
killed
yeah,
by a
bro, don't
KG.
worry.
Wait,
I thought it was
KG.
funny.
M1 in this one, and the back one
Is that
Yeah, you're like, wait a minute.
more interesting.
guy's got, he's stolen Undead KG's
They're
name.
yelling at you, KG, you motherfucker.
KG would never. It has to be a bot.
We got here the entrance
Yeah.
to the base.
I
I
thought
don't know,
we were
KG and I
friends.
literally went for like 2.5 hours of straight hunting people
And we
the other
can
day.
upgrade
Like that's the
the
only,
levels.
that was our only goal in the
All
game
of
was
our
to go hunt
weapons
other
got here,
teams.
So I can upgrade my
That's great.
MP5 to level 1.
Yeah, we came upon these guys yesterday that
Oh no, I've
they,
already got the MP5.
that all of a sudden KG and Captain were wiping them out, and I was already dead on the ground, so that kind of sucked.
And I love that incendiary RPK. It trashes people.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I was afraid that he lost it, but he has it insured. I was so happy.
Oh, you have it insured, Nifty?
Yeah, I have the incendiary, and yeah, that's what I have for my insured weapon. So I always have. I mean, it is my best weapon, plain and simple. I mean, even if I craft, like build a weapon, I don't have incendiary on anything else. Let alone the RPK is like one of the meta games, meta weapons in the game right now. So
Yeah. Yeah, incendiary fire, watch out.
Yeah.
And if we go
I think it's really funny to see them
upstairs,
catching on
in the
fire
other
after they get
rooms,
smacked too.
Yeah.
there's a dead
Lighten
person
them
in
up.
the corner there with a canister.
Hashtag.
Yeah, I like the raw, but it's friggin' reload speed is just,
Oh, there we go.
Take a knife to your
Basement,
eyeball.
but with spikes.
Yeah, all of the LMGs are slow reload
5,000.
for the most part.
Yeah.
A couple more
I
doors
try to
here.
take cover for
Nothing
that
in the
shit, and then
bathroom.
like peek out as I'm aiming, and then
And I
go
don't
for
have
it.
any
A Fennec,
XP
I hate
Yeah.
that gun though.
Final
The
room,
Fennec,
but I'm
it's
not
a
sure if
single
there's-
You don't
shot
like the
fucking
Fennec?
pain in the ass.
And then we've got these
I love it, it's
computers
annoying
around,
to
so I'm
use,
guessing
though.
this is
I would
gonna
rather
be
use a
like
Hurricane than a
secret
Fennec.
traps,
But then you're just
Oh.
running around with two LMGs, so.
no, the
Yeah,
Fennec is
SMG.
it's like an SMG, yeah, it's like an MP5.
Oh, I thought it was a. Oh, the Fennec.
Yeah, with
Yeah,
the,
I know which one. It's a little 9mm one. Yeah.
It's like a little tiny little guy.
Yeah,
It's
okay,
like,
yeah. I was thinking of the.
oh, I know the one you're talking about. Yeah, the LMX or whatever.
No, I like the LMS for the single shots. It's something else. It's, I don't remember what this one is. Where am I getting clips from?
Captain Chronic says, yeah, RPK
yeah,
and
the
Fennec
bit
is
on the
meta,
back
yeah. RPK was always a great gun, and Fennec
I'm
gets them
tempted to
kills
upgrade my
close up.
weapon.
Fennec be nice too
That's
because
a
you'll
good
have
rate of
faster
fire.
movement speed when you're carrying it.
Yeah.
What do you
By a
mean?
smidge.
They're all just level 1
Yeah,
weapons.
it's such a
Oh,
tiny little
shit.
gun. Fits in your
Oh.
back pocket.
Alright, I'm on low health here.
I can't, can you just kill the zombie? I can't
Exactly.
back
Close
out.
range can't beat it because your bullets will shoot faster than any other gun that's shooting at you.
Won't let me back out.
Yeah, plus it's like
The
quick to hit
menus.
fire.
I'm really
right?
low on.
How did you get
Like
back
you know,
out
it's
on
not
the menus?
it's not like lifting up this big
What
giant
do you
gun
mean
to try to
menus?
shoot
I
it.
didn't go into the weapon.
Which all makes
You
sense.
didn't go into the weapons crate.
No.
Alright, well I just had to do a refill ammo, but I don't think there's any way to get back out of the weapons crate without spending something.
What's in this
Alright.
vending machine?
I think it just says speed.
And these guys are opening everything.
Quick reload.
You can tell they're fairly new at it. You
Yeah,
just open the bathroom.
Speed perk.
that was
Yes.
me too. I'd open
Funny, I-
What we
everything.
don't want to be.
I've
doing
only
is we
opened
don't
like
wanna
2
be
of the
stuck
houses.
in
I
the
just
house.
don't even care. Which is why they changed that whole thing that you have to now to get the guns, I guess, right?
Yeah,
Go
exactly.
into level 10.
They're like, why do we put in all this work for the houses if no one's going in them?
Yeah, they're only going to go to these ones every single time. And that's why I like the idea of taking the box out too, because otherwise people will just buy those 2 doors to the
Oh my
box
god,
every
there's like
time.
an American footballer.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh really? Like a boss one.
He's fucking
That's
got
gonna
a
be a
helmet and
whole other
everything.
game. People don't even realize this. If this
Oh,
map is
shit, look at
banned,
the
this
size
sounds
of it,
crazy.
look at the
And there's
size
another
of it.
map coming, which is the mall. Like, hold your fucking horses. It's about to get crazy.
34 minutes in, we're at the
You're
American.
going to catch me sitting in the theater at the mall watching movies
They're
all the
damaging
time.
you there.
No,
Yeah, having
you
a
just
little
walk
bag of
backwards.
popcorn.
It's only if they come
If
from
there's a
behind they
theater
get
there,
you.
that's gonna be like Keener
Oh,
to Tilton.
really?
That's awesome.
I think this perk.
It's gonna be like,
maybe-
what?
Keener to Tilton, it's like this original
the
COD
Yeah.
map that has a theater in it, and you can like teleport to the top of the theater where like the movie gets played, and you can upgrade there. It was so cool.
Oh, cool. I've never even heard of it.
Yeah, so maybe if we didn't get the speed perk,
Black
we'd be
Cloud, so I
struggling.
can't wait for a
I'm
zombie
fucked.
to
I'm
climb
fucked.
over a barricade instead of going around it. Yeah,
Oh,
I
As long as
agree.
it's one that
Yeah,
we're
yeah,
allowed to
yeah.
also
Where
climb
our
over.
fun ends.
Well, like let's say like the entrance barricade. Oh, he means like the stuff in the map.
Right.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, like
Okay,
instead
yeah.
of having to go around the like there's
You
little
got this, you got
yellow
this,
barricades
easy.
right there. Like dogs should just jump over them like we do, or hurdle
Yeah,
it.
only if we can. Yeah, that would be great.
Yeah, I don't want to have climbing over stuff that I can't climb over there too. Except
I
for the
really want
boundary,
to jump
obviously.
window.
Yeah, jumping out windows will be clutch.
Like I can already tell this game.
I feel like somebody had said something about that, taking slight
A lot to
damage.
do,
I think
right?
Kyle said it a
Yes.
couple
I
weeks
wonder
ago, maybe.
Exactly.
Yeah, jumping through the
On
window
the
and taking
line.
slight damage from it, but still being able to escape.
Yeah, I heard him on CNN talk about it, and on another interview for Space, and that was the first time I ever heard about it. But apparently, he's been talking about that for a while, and it just blew my mind.
You can pretty much just walk backwards, and as
Yeah,
long
it's
as you don't
crazy
get
too because
trapped
all that
back
stuff
against
is
something,
like the
you can just
you know
pop them
it
off
seems
like
because we're so
without
used to it.
having
It's like
run.
oh, it's nothing, but it's actually a pretty probably a pretty in-depth process to make it so that you could jump out a window and have
You
it
see any
be
more football players?
because now it's a window, but it
No.
also is
It's not
a
one.
door.
Yeah,
or
now it's a
whatever, you know what
solid
I mean?
barrier, right?
Oh,
They
right,
have
I'm
it set
with you.
in game to be a solid barrier. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And I was thinking about the same thing. Like, this is only like the beginning of the graphics, the beginning of everything. So the graphics are probably
right
gonna
back.
get updated, and the actual like animation of going through the window and the glass breaking around you will be
Right.
a whole nother thing that they have to integrate, which is gonna be crazy. And there's a lot of work that comes behind that, like you guys are saying.
I'm dead again.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be fun to watch the progression of it all. And I think it's just cool to, I've said before, when I was a kid, I wanted to be,
It's
you
not
know,
very obvious when you
involved
die.
in
The
games.
screens just sort of change.
so it's pretty crazy that somehow I
Oh,
wound
need
up here
25,000 XP.
out of like the craziest end around in life.
Dude, I feel the same way, and you know what? I don't even try to question it anymore. You manifested it because you
think
knew
this
you
could
were
be
gonna
end
do
of
it
the
one day.
road.
It's not about when. I mean, it's not about if. It's about when. You know.
Right, right. Yeah, and imagine like when I was a kid, I
Especially when you don't
remember
climb
my
in the-
first, what I wanted to do was be a game developer,
Yeah,
like
the
make
mistake I've been
games.
moving-
That was
yeah,
the
it's
first,
doing
it
too
wasn't,
much. It's just
I didn't
walking
want to be
backwards too
a,
much and trying to pop them
a
all off and get
fireman or a
trapped
policeman. It was,
against those
the one,
barriers.
well, maybe I did, but the one that I remember was wanting to be part of gaming.
Yeah,
But I mean, I didn't even get
I
any
agree,
damage
man. I
dealt.
remember telling myself like,
And
I'm
then
gonna make
I just
money
died,
off of
so
this
I
right
must have
now.
been
So I
killed
should
in,
get
like,
my
one
skills up
sweat.
really high, so that in the future, if I don't play
Yeah.
as much, I still have the skills for when the money comes in. And I knew it. I just fucking knew it. I remember like 2
Well, there's
years
a
ago,
lot
I
of
was like,
police
why am I even
officers
gonna
here.
play
Maybe
video
that's what
games?
the upgrade
And I
in
was
the
like,
level
because
is.
one day there's gonna be a future in this, and you know it. And then crypto games came around like a year
Right.
later.
Yeah. I mean, it's crazy to think that there's the ability to be in that, and that's why I feel like that because people are so used to all the big games, we don't even realize that, you know, never in the history of gaming has it been possible for just average people to be involved in a game before it even is anything.
However, full disclosure,
Exactly.
I tested this on myself, and I've seen legitimate
And
results.
this is
I
still
won't say that I'm
beta, man. It's
completely
crazy.
fearless in
And
these
like
areas,
I
but
said, I've
she
been
does-
looking
she works.
into
Okay, she works.
Unity
This is where
Dev
you got,
more
like, a little
recently, and like
something that you
100%, I
wanna
couldn't
take
agree
care of,
more.
but you don't necessarily
Unity is
want
striking my interest, and I would
strangers
love to
all up in
learn
there.
that stuff.
If you know what I'm talking about, you might be
Well, you
thinking,
can,
well,
I mean,
no,
depending on
that's
how
not
big your
something
computer is, I know it's not Unity, but you can actually download Unreal Engine and for free you can utilize all their assets, utilize everything that they have in there, and they only take money from you after you make your first X millions or what. I forget exactly the number, but it was like, it's like, holy crap. I mean, it's pretty cool to think that you can use their
I don't think so. I mean, maybe
their
they're cool, and then they got,
platform
like,
to
a
make,
scented something in here to smell like
you know,
garden
to
beer,
make
but
this
High
game.
quality
think it
games,
works.
yeah, man.
Yeah,
Okay, so I plugged it
yeah,
in,
like
and as
top
you can
quality
see, it's a little
game.
green
Nicky, what are we
light
watching on?
flashing.
Is that
So
you
what
put
I'm
this
gonna do
on?
is just gonna hold
Oh
it.
man, he doesn't realize that a long ad played, and he's not in the room right now.
Oh, I am
On
not
the front,
complaining
it
though,
has this little
because
light
I could look
indicator,
at
so
this
when you
ad
press
all
the button on
day.
the back,
I don't want to
you
look
can
at
go
this
up in
ad.
level.
All I
So
see
there's a level
is women
1, then it goes all the way up
consumeration.
to level 5,
I
depending
just
on
see
the strength
big
you wanna
giant
use, depending on, like,
eyes.
the darkness of your hair, all that
That's
kind
all
of
I could
stuff.
see. I didn't even. She could be talking about.
She's kind of
Yeah.
ugly too.
No, you think so? I thought she had really nice eyes.
I don't know why. I mean, she had nice eyes, but they were wide apart.
Well, I hope you guys learned something from Samantha Lux.
Oh, I learned something. I learned that I like Samantha Lux.
I learned that I could feel in different ways that I never thought I could feel.
Oh,
That's what Slayer's saying.
so I shouldn't have skipped the. We were only halfway through the ad. I should have let you guys finish it. My fault.
Yeah, I was like, what the hell? Why? Who voted on that?
Nah, she was mid.
She was.
Her product was mid. Her presentation was mid. She was mid.
Her eyes
Yeah,
were
true
a
that.
10.
The
Her
way she
face
was-
was a 6.
Her eyes were at least a 9.
Wow.
The
Okay.
only thing about her eyes that were
That was
9
8
was there was
minutes,
9
almost
inches
9
apart.
minutes, that round.
No,
Oh,
come on,
wow.
you guys are mean. You guys are just straight up mean.
I'm just mean to ads. I'm sure she's a wonderful young lady.
Yeah, she was a lovely human.
I love you, Slayer.
How do we even know she was a human?
Oh my god, it was AI.
Oh,
That's
it's like,
oh,
Yeah,
imagine
she-
it was.
A lot of
It
AI out
could've
there.
been. Yeah, that would make sense of her eyes, you
Maybe we'll
know.
have to leave it there,
yeah, I need to
The AI just didn't know how to put them properly.
and
Yeah,
if this
dude.
just
Because if you look at
continues,
some of these AI pictures
we'll
that are
just more
people,
zombies.
but it's not an
Not
actual
really
person,
getting any
if you look
harder.
closely, you can kind of tell because some things are off. It's just like
Yeah.
a collage of a whole bunch of other people's faces together.
Actually, speaking
yeah,
of, there's
yeah.
a new AI out that does art like the one that I used to use that I pay for, but now it's free.
What?
And it's in
What is it?
Discord. Blue Willow.
Oh, guys.
You said blue what?
Blue Willow.
Blue Willow. Nice.
Hey, I like it.
It's not quite all the functions that are as the other one yet, the Mid-Journey one, but it is free and it's in Discord and it's free unlimited use.
That's a dub.
For the
Yeah, as opposed to
dubs.
$50 a month. Yeah, big win.
Big one.
No, you're dying.
Big
He
dubs.
died.
Oh, rookie move, dying. What
Now the
round
other
was
one's
he in?
gonna
10?
die too.
Who dies at level
16.
10, guys?
16.
Die at level 80 or something.
What are you talking
like
about?
that.
Slayer
Michael,
kept
give me
dying
a
at every round for the first 12 rounds the other day. I don't know what was wrong with him.
700.
Oh yeah, I was dying like a little beehive.
I have no idea what
So
was wrong
guys,
with
that
him
was
that
a
day.
pretty intense video, I must say myself. What
Pretty
do you think of the
intense,
game?
he
Let us
said.
know below.
Well, look, this
If
guy's
you
trying to
like
do what
this
we're doing.
content,
He's
please
using
do
somebody else's
subscribe,
video to
give
make
us
his
a
own
like and a
video. What the
thumbs up,
fuck?
And come and join the NFT Discord channel because we are going to
Rookie
be
move.
pumping these sorts of
Rookie
games over the next
move.
coming years as a community. So come and get
So
involved.
Make your
we're
own
using
damn
somebody
video.
else's video to
How
use
the
somebody
people
else's
see
video
you
to
are
make
as a
our own
gamer.
video.
So yeah, that's
Awesome.
us for today.
Video
We'll see you
inception.
again soon.
It's a video within a video.
So that was Non-Fungible Gang sharing a video from, I don't know, because I really wasn't paying attention to realize that he was sharing somebody else's video. So, yeah. Unless that was just one of their Non-Fungible Gang people. Well, it could have been
Yo,
that.
Diamond Hand shooting people through the smoke. Let's
Why
go.
am I getting a phone call from Arizona? Yeah, no, I'm
You
not,
saw that?
not
Hell yeah.
answering that.
That was a vibe.
Yeah, that was you were on a little bit of a tear there. Shit. Point.
Thank you, Sam.
Striker's first
Wah.
impressions. Let's see what Striker thinks from Strike Team Games. Join us as we drive deep into the heart of Undead Blocks. If you enjoy this coverage, make sure to hit the like and subscribe button. So, Striker first impression from Strike
What's going
Team
on,
Games.
ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Strike Team Games. Today,
Well, he's lagging
we're
like
gonna be
him.
playing a little bit
Like,
of
you know what,
Undead
so
Blocks. What I've
I hope it
done
was
is
good.
I've gone ahead
Like
and
a you know
recorded the
what.
gameplay, and I'm gonna go ahead and
That's
put this
that's a
up
lot
by
better. There you
giving my
go.
thoughts generally about the game, the company,
Come on there,
what
Strike
the future
Team.
may hold, my personal
Get in the
opinions.
game.
But pretty much, if you've ever played Call of Duty
EA
Zombies before,
Sports.
you're gonna be
Team game.
familiar with
Exactly.
Undead Blocks. They're following the same business model to hopefully be able to build a more polished product and be able to iterate that on into the future. But obviously, competing against Call of Duty, even for the largest AAA studios, is going to be difficult. So this is where
They're
the
not
niche
competing
comes
against it.
involved. Using play to earn, which is a
Call of
feature
Duty
that
stopped
the
zombies.
development team at Wagyu Games has decided to push
Yeah, they
forward
do.
with very adamantly. It could lead the way to make Undead Blocks become more unique to be able to stand out in the market for itself. They've already raised 1.7 million seed round, a small seed round with Animoca Brands, and they're on the IMX Layer 2 scaling solution for Ethereum. Most of their Genesis NFTs are on the Ethereum blockchain, and don't worry, we'll get into it. But for the most part, as I was playing
How long
through
is this
this
video?
game that you're watching right
15
now,
minutes. All right.
I was frankly impressed with how a company that's only been around for a year plus has been able to make a polished little mini game, one level of zombies where you're obviously killing, spending your experience to open doors, to purchase new guns, to purchase perks, following the same model as Call of Duty Zombies. I was really impressed about how good it feels. Now, don't get me wrong, there's still a lot more to be added, and there's a lot of things that you can see.
You're not bad with the pistol.
Things like
What was that?
reloading,
He's not
or,
bad with the pistol.
you know, the action button.
Gotcha.
Times. Multiplayer would be another one, but of course, they're in the process of working on it. Another thing, as I started to do my research, was that I noticed that the white paper has actually been changed. This may be a good thing or a bad thing. It really depends on your perspective. But from my end, I really do believe that crypto games and projects in the Web3 ecosystem need to be very flexible, which means you need to change your white paper as things like new regulations, as new business models, as new game pages.
Is that his sound or is that from you, Nifty?
come out.
What?
So I'm not too worried.
It's
about
doing
it.
like a.
When it-
That's not me. That's I hear it too. That's somebody else. I think it might be.
Oh.
I think it might be
I went ahead
Diamond.
and I focused on
I think it was
the
one of you
Medium
two because I
articles,
hear it.
listening to
Oh, then
If I
it's
was
in,
making
then
it,
it's
I
this
couldn't
guy.
hear it.
Yeah,
developers,
it's in the,
joining
it's his
Discord,
sound then.
Obviously looking at the website.
But
So
he's
I've done
muted
my
on my end. I don't know.
and I'm frankly, like I said, impressed.
Like I'm watching it through
especially
my
with the
phone.
gameplay part of it.
Ah.
But for
No,
those of
then
you
I don't
that
know.
haven't played, let's go ahead
'Cause I
and
heard
talk
it too.
a little bit about what you can expect.
Oh, okay.
Gotta
Within
ghost the
next
machine.
month, by
It's
the
the
end of
government.
February, the game will
Yeah,
be
they're
launching
listening
its
to us like,
third
come on, we need
play-to-earn
the scoop on
system.
Undead Blocks.
It's going to be in the beta phase and will be
They
We're trying to
wanna
find
know.
ways to control it already.
Gameplay is that through RNG, as you're slaying zombies, certain zombies will drop certain loot boxes that will contain different types of currency, in-game currencies. There are standard Z-Bucks.
This guy does seem like he did his research. I'm gonna have to give him a little subscribe here.
Currency of the game, virtual currency of the game. You're going to use that to upgrade your weapons.
Get in the game.
cosmetics. Pretty much, it's a representation of the
Oops, I didn't mean to pause it.
amount of time that you put into the game, so that it can help you with the progression aspect of the game. Now, the earning aspect of the game.
There
is
you
gonna
go. You
come
gotta
forward.
subscribe with your
Obviously,
579 now.
These gold
580.
V-Bucks are pretty much, and here's what's intriguing, going to be pegged. to
Holy shit, a
10 cents
parasite
per
meter.
Z-Buck. Now, the developers are doing this obviously on purpose. And
What's that?
They're doing it in a unique
No
way by
thing.
managing a treasury fund.
It's a what?
for The
No
reward
thing.
system of the game.
I'm not on Earth
Then
from
we
another
see
sun.
Oh
to-
Can't
boy.
get this
based on
guy's
the
volume
amount of
any louder,
revenue
though.
they're able to generate. Of course, you know, when we were going through the free-to-play era, many big wigs in in large corporations were saying you can't
There
give
you go.
away your
Now it
free.
looks better.
You have to give your game away for free. You have to be able to monetize it. So they shunned it off, and look what happened. Now we're talking about Web3 games, and when you make the argument about, wait a minute, you're going to take a portion of your revenue to give back to your players, like, how are you going to make that succeed? Well, the idea here, if an economy is able to be created that's stable, where they're able to manage how much is coming into the game through a stable 10-cent currency, and how much obviously is being extracted, then really what we're talking about is as the game grows, as it earns more revenue either through sponsorships or through tournaments or through free-to-play players buying cosmetics, they would be able, theoretically, to use a portion of that revenue to fund the player base. The idea is that the value of the overall network of the company, of the brand, would be a combination of what the players are able to earn plus what the developers are able to earn, and working as a team should, again theoretically, create a much bigger valuation in terms of the tokens and the NFTs than simply by gating it behind a paywall or gating it behind a centralized organization that only reaps the benefits of the rewards. Is this something that is likely to happen? We're gonna have to see. They're willing to take the shot, and they're wanting to double down on play to earn by even putting in a rental system, a scholarship system that will allow you to obviously rent your items so that other people can go ahead and grind for that currency that could then be split. Okay. Interesting things to note here is that at the time of the beta, we're expecting at least one mode.
Give this guy a follow, guys. This is Strike Team Games on YouTube.
Obviously, the team is working on multiplayer, both duos, up to 4 players. But there are issues, at least at this point in time, with development, so it's going to take them more time to roll that out. So I think what you can expect from what I've listened to in the AMAs is 2 different types of modes for this single-player portion of the campaign. The first would be the free-to-play, where players are earning those standard V-Bucks and using them to upgrade and buy cosmetics. The second one will be only for the owners of NFT weapons. Now, there's multiple sets, the Apocalypse set and the Genesis set. The Genesis set really has an added feature of being able to get you into exclusive content, whether that's tournaments or other sponsored events that only those Genesis owners will be able to participate in. Whereas in anyone that owns either
He's not bad. He's still with the pistol too.
Weapon sets will be able to participate in the earning.
I just think people do the mistake of not knifing enough.
Yeah.
Able to then take your chances with the RNG by getting loot drops when you kill these zombies.
Yeah.
Obviously, the more
Not knife enough to die every round for the first 12 rounds.
the more likely they are to drop. However, the developer's going to
Wait, look at
Actually, the main issue, it really ended up being that he accidentally bought the fucking double barrel off the wall and swapped out his MP5 for it.
Oh yeah, that was not fun or funny.
Okay, well, there's 3 organizations here that are all helping make this thing.
It was like the longest 27 rounds in the history of getting to 27 rounds.
We have IMX and the scaling solution. IMX has done a great job of fundraising over the past year and is launching some of the biggest games in Web3 gaming. So I could say they're easily right up there with Polygon as one of the leaders pushing it forward. Great news. The other 3 organizations are more managerial in nature. The first one is the company Wagyu Games that owns Undead Blocks. Now, they're, roughly 5 to 10 people, and they're mostly financial in background. They come from a background of Goldman Sachs and also of managing large funds, which you can see may play a role in this case by managing an in-game treasury. They are, as a organization team, handling the operations and really contracting out the development team. Now, this is a partnership with a Ukraine-based development team that is helping actually build the game. They're the ones that are building the game. Now, because of the war that's going on right now, there's been some delays, and Wagyu Games has said that they're wanting to shift development out of Ukraine and into Vietnam. So we would expect that there could be some there could be some positives and negatives with that. Obviously, being able to rely on the team that is in a not going through the course of a war right now is one aspect. The other one is that it will take time to onboard a new team. Maybe it's already occurred, maybe it hasn't, but you would want that transition to happen smoothly and for it to continue on into the future. Third thing that you should know, the third company is the company that's going to be hosting the renting system. Now, this is a company that's called Bluemint, and from everything I've been able to look.
Wow, this is a very recent video.
It's 4 days ago, so this is how long it's been talking, and it just blew up in Discord this morning, by the way.
The
right?
website, doesn't even have an About Us section yet, but I was able to get into their Discord, read through very little bit. They all come from a background of school in Colombia. Maybe this is something they can pull off, maybe it's not, but the fact that it is on the IMX platform means that perhaps third parties, players like you and me, or other organizations,
I'm gonna reach
could
out to this guy.
develop the systems that are needed for renting to be able to allow the player base to interact with. This is possible, and I've seen this happen with other types of games, such as Gods Unchained, that's also on IMX. So those are the three major companies, and the platform would be the fourth to keep a note of. There's pros and cons for each one, but I would say that some of the unique things that those at Wagyu Games have put forward is they wanted to focus on multiplayer, multi-chain. They wanted to be skill agnostic, platform agnostic, and chain agnostic. Okay, these are some of their guiding principles. The fact that it's multi-chain is something that's been in my mind for a long time. What does a multi-chained Web3 game look like? Is there going to be positives or negatives to that? We don't know. The idea here that being able of a multiverse that can span multiple blockchains, is my leading idea, but we're going to have to see how it all plays out. They are wanting to aim, based off after their launch, $3 million of revenue in the first game. When I hear that as a CPA, that's a company that's getting right off the ground, that is, barely at the going concern stage, and is really the launch pad. They've also talked about wanting to iterate on the game and already have discussed even a second game, really with the idea of using what they've built in Unity at this point to create different either game modes or different games entirely, but using the same system. This gives me the impression of a business or an organization that really needs to cut their teeth in terms of what they're able to put out to the public. They may be searching right now for a product that is, a minimum viable product to reach players, and that's going to be probably their number one issue. Are they able to get the amount of attention that they need to onboard enough players to kickstart the revenue of the company, and to be able then to also increase the amount of rewards that the game is able to dish out to players. Obviously, we're gonna have to see how it plays out. They're wanting to focus on mobile, which is unique because this is where you start to see the mixing of Web 2 mentality and Web 3 mentality. From a business perspective, I would expect that the Web 2 mentality is probably going to generate the most revenue. If they're able to put out this game to a mobile audience that would then go ahead and spend on loot boxes or cosmetics, you can see how that is the spark of the engine that funds everything to move forward and grow bigger and bigger and bigger. There are also discussions about how your in-game items, your NFTs specifically, would carry over from this game to the second game, and for this point, it gets a little more difficult on my end. I start to think about, the economic decisions you make for game one. It could dramatically hold you back on what you want to do for game two, since you've already set that precedent. But being that they're wanting to,
no, they just wouldn't be able to do more
work
weapons. They would be able to do
public,
different options for buys for NFT investing into the second game.
That larger idea may be the rebranding of their token. Right now, they've launched the Undead token, which really is a government token for the game to help, vote on some of the very minor aspects of the game. But they're wanting to actually switch that into a studio token, something kind of like what Gala Games is starting to attempt to pull off. What intrigues me is that a studio token at a very low valuation and with a company with a financial background that is, at least at this point, been able to contract out successfully to create a small, alpha beta type project, may be something to look forward to in the future. Obviously not financial advice, but something for you to do your own homework on. There are plenty of other questions that come up as I'm going through the game, and I don't know exactly how they're going to play out, but I'm interested, hopefully, in speaking to a member of the development team in the future as I continue to cover the game, especially after launch of the earning system. Some of these things are, what are their short-term goals and time frame? Not really is like, when is the game going to be out, but more like, what are they expecting to do by the end of year 1, year 2, year 3? What would they deem to be a success? Obviously, while keeping as much flexibility as they can to adjust as new regulations come out or as the crypto market changes. Another item as well, going back to the crypto market, is that since we're in a bear market right now, the amount of players that are in the ecosystem has been reduced. How do they expect that to affect the game going into the future? Or is it more about focusing on just the Web 2 side of it, focusing on mobile users to help generate the revenue to keep the company going? These are some of the things that are in my mind. The complexity of launching on iOS, with advertising or cloud gaming, with server issues that are currently there right now. Who knows? We're going to have to see more as we get more information when the white paper hopefully launches, or with new tournaments that come out into the future. But I'm going to be here to cover some of them as the game moves forward, and look forward to hopefully speaking to a member either of the game or of the development in the future. So I hope you guys enjoyed my coverage of Undead Blocks at this point. Look forward to more in the future. I'll catch you later. Peace.
Not bad. Well presented, well educated. Pretty good.
I really like what you said about the governments, because at the end of the day, dude, I think the same thing. It's so undervalued, and I think it's going to have a lot of potential compared to what it is right now.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of potential, but we just have to see what happens.
Turning into a studio gaming point, and that's a lot of potential, especially with its market cap. For an investor, that's a great idea, especially like you said, with the products already developed and created. Yeah, it's a good risk. Everything's risk.
Yeah, risk versus reward, right?
Yeah, and a lot of people are in here just for the bread at the end of the day. I'm here because I love the game, but it's an attracting thing for an investor.
How long was this video? An hour? Nope, I'm not taking that. I'm not watching that one right now. Months ago, 5 months ago. We're good.
What time did you say you work at Diamond Heads?
5 today.
Oh, I thought for some reason you said 2. I guess that was yesterday.
Yeah, it was yesterday.
Wakes up.
I wish.
Time to go back to sleep.
I had to send Bumbleberry my whole schedule because we needed to coordinate things right. Motherfuckers are like, damn, bro, you work every single day. I'm like, yeah, every day except for 2 days.
That's how you get somewhere in life, dude.
Well, that's just the workforce in general. I mean, no one out here is doing small hours and making it by.
No. I did for years, I did 7 days a week.
Yeah, man. You got to.
I mean, I kind of still do 7 days a week. It's just a different...
It's a different grind, yep.
Different 7 days.
Feel that, man. I want to do this full time, but I need the money.
Yeah.
I want to build a platform that uses other people's NFTs and You mean Bluemint?
That's so funny, actually. Full circle, right on. Yeah, exactly.
And that's why we are utilizing Bluemint.
Yeah, and that's exactly my point from earlier. That's how money is made. I mean, even buying coffee is, something, you take somebody else's product and you turn around, sell it, make money off of it, and then you go from there, right?
Smack it up, flip it, rub it down, and sell it again.
You know, and you add like, oh, it's got a, you know, pretty little cup on it, or, you know, you get like really fancy barista places that they do those designs on the top of your coffee and charge you an extra $1 or $2. It's like when I go in, they're like, do you want bacon on your burger? I'm like, well, how much is the bacon? They go, well, it's like $3. I'm like, but the burger's only $2.
And that's when you say, well, how much if I get the all-American bacon cheeseburger and it's like $1 more? You're like, oh, so if I get it because it says it has bacon on it, it's cheaper
Right.
than if I add bacon to it.
Right.
Capitalism.
Exactly.
That's fucking finest, Jesus Christ.
Man, the best thing in life is to, yeah, and that's why I think that the short-sightedness of the rental system is that, you know, you're going to be able to generate an income off of something because other people are using it. You know, so no matter what, it's still money.
Well, it's like, which is it, Lyft or Uber or whatever finally has a contract with Enterprise or whoever the fuck it is, the rental car, so that you can rent one of their cars to drive Uber for the week, so that, you know, if you don't have a car, it gives that extra added, you know, you don't have a car, but you have a license, so now you have the availability to go rent a car to make money doing Uber.
Yeah. Uber's one of those funny things, though, too, where one day I was doing, because I did it for a bit, one day I was doing it, and they go, you made $75 an hour or whatever it was. And I was like, holy crap, I made 75. So then I went and I looked and I'm like, no, I only made...
Your payout's like $26.
Well, it wasn't even that. It was just that because the way that, you know, it's like your stat in Call of Duty. They don't count the time where you're sitting waiting for the game. They only count the time,
you
know, so they don't count the time I started at 5 a.m. and ended at, you know, 5 p.m. That's 12 hours, $75 an hour. I made them, you know, $1,000. No, they only count your drive time with somebody in the car.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so people are like, wow, well, I made all, you know. And if you're not someone who looks at business from that point of view, people are like, yeah, I made a ton of money. Well,
right.
I ended up I think I was making less than minimum wage. Plus, I had my own car. I had my own.
Right, you had your,
you know, you pay for your gas, you pay for the brake jobs and the insurance, and, you know, it was the benefit of it was you could do it whenever you wanted, right?
Everything is just not expense.
Exactly. Yeah, and then you get the guys who jump into your Uber and they're like, oh my god, he didn't offer me a bottle of water. Like, okay, well, you go to the store and get a free bottle of water just because you went to the store, you dickhead, you know?
They're paying for that experience in their belief. Even though it's cheaper than a taxi, which gives you even less, and somebody puked in it before you sat down.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
In their vinyl seat, so they can just hose it off because the last guy fucking puked on it, or whatever the couple was doing.
Yeah, whatever it was.
Mic off.
Yeah, exactly. Plus, you need to subtract the gas from the gas cost for the day. Exactly, KG. Yeah, and then it's winter time, so you get, you know, you're sitting there, you got to keep the car warm, so you're spending, you know, it's a. Don't get me wrong, it's a cool way to make money if you just want to be able to say, hey, on a Friday night, I'm going to go and I'm going to make some money. But as a full time, you think you're going to retire doing Uber, you're not.
Right.
The first break job that costs you $1,500.
You're not going to retire sitting in your car all fucking day driving around, just like you're not going to retire sitting in your desk all day playing a video game.
Exactly. Exactly. You saw where I was going with that neat little bow of mine. That neat little bow of mine. It was definitely that guy's video that was all chachi.
I mean, you could, though, potentially. Like, you really could, if you had the money to invest in it, yes, and this game succeeds, then yes, you could theoretically make enough to live on if you have enough money to go and buy 500 packs, right? If you have the money to invest in it, you could definitely make a shit ton of money and survive on this as a secondary residual income simply because of the amount of packs that you own.
Yeah, and then
you need to have that investment fund to do that.
Exactly.
I mean,
yeah, and you need to say to yourself, I don't care about that money for 2 years, 3 years,
Right, 'cause
whatever it
you're,
is,
you're
right?
looking at it for the daily residual. You're not looking at it for the cost of return. You're
Right,
like, okay, well,
exactly.
if I own 500 packs, I'm going to pull in a minimum of $500 a day, so therefore this is a good investment because $500 a day, I can more than live on that.
Shit, if I was making $500 a day renting out my packs because I had the money to invest in my packs to begin with, that'd be
Right,
sick.
you're not really looking at your initial investment because your return on it is gonna come no matter what. You're just looking at, okay, this is what I need to make on a daily basis, so this is what I need to invest to get to that daily basis.
Yeah, because what does that equal a year? If you were to make $500 a day, it's 150 grand a year, right?
500 a day. It's way more than that, isn't it? I don't know. My
No,
math
I
is
think
hard.
just
500 a day or $5?
500 a day. That's at 2 zeros, right?
Yeah.
500
Plus the
times
15,
10
so it's
Yeah,
100,
yeah.
150.
is 5,000 times fucking 30.
Yeah.
It's a lot more than that.
Yeah.
No, 500 a day times 300. So you have to add 2 zeros onto 3650. Plus you have to do 15 times 5 times 3
No, we all have
is
phones in front of us.
15.
Nobody wants to just grab their calculator.
No,
I'm literally doing it right now.
yeah, it's like 100 and
500.
153,000 or
182,000. $500.
So it's still, I mean, 182 grand is more than livable for the average person, right? I
For
mean,
$500, you need 500 packs.
Yo, if I'm making
right. Well,
if
how
I
much
make
is 500 packs? What's 500 times 100?
Well, it's at
50,000
165 right now.
So if for 50 thou you can make 183 grand, because you only need to buy the rookie packs.
Here, let me do like a super relatable one. Like, let's say you did 500. 5 of them were $500, right? Times 5. So that's 2,500. Let's say the other 5 were 130. So 130 times 5, 650 plus 2,000.
I mean, it really is just it's a cost valuation of what do you have to invest, and then are you okay with sitting on it to just wait for the daily earnings to return it? I mean, and the higher it is, the higher you're gonna get your free. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then on top of that, the higher you can use that to make those other packs a higher value on top of that, which then will earn more. Blah 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 blah. Right? It's just that circular thing.
Yeah. So roughly at
Yes,
3,500.
I'm calculating based off of the minimum of $1 a day per pack. Yes.
So let's do 3,500 is your initial investment for 10 packs. So now we're gonna do $1 a day, 10 times 30.
Exactly. If you have 10 or more packs, you're still gonna do
300.
okay, right? You're still gonna get $50 a day, possibly, potentially, with
300
10 packs.
times 12.
Potentially. And that's down the road, 3, 4, 5 years, when we do have that 5 or 10 million player base.
Yeah, it's an extra like 3,600 a year. So you'd be paying your initial back after about a year and a half.
Like I can't get people to invest in my patent, but I almost feel like numerically, as soon as this launches,
Or in a year.
I almost wish staking was still available, because when it launches and you can show that you have a couple packs making $1 minimum each, you could go to some companies and be like, look, I need 50 grand to buy another 100 packs, and we can pull this and we can split it, and we still both pay off the packs and make profit, and then after that it's pure profit forever.
Yeah.
Like there's companies that would look at that and see that as man, that actually is a a value proposal, and I don't have to do anything. This guy's gonna handle it. They're just gonna give me. Oh.
Yeah, they have $50 in their nightstand.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest with you, I'm a big investor. I used to be really into staking. I used to be really into like liquidity pools and stuff like that. And percentage wise, you're pretty much making 10% back every month.
Right, and we were just talking about that. There's not a bank on the planet that gives you that.
There's nowhere that gives you 10% at all, not even close.
And that's
they give
just
you 0.001%.
just for taking the time to make sure that somebody's playing your pack.
Even crypto staking, all across the board, no one sustainably is giving you 10%. The only sustainable right now is a pretty good 5%, and that's through Binance staking because they have the highest.
Yeah.
Which is, I mean, really 5% is amazing. If you could get 5%
exactly.
on your money,
Yeah,
that's
it's 2.5 times.
10%. You're getting double from owning packs. I mean, that's the real long-term vision. That's how I look at it. No one is giving you 10% for the year, and they're going by staking by the year, not by month. So this is 10% every month, which is what 100.
No, it's
And-
10% on a year because you can't. If you did 10% a month, that's 120% a year.
I just did the math, and I do the math. This is what I do. So let's say you take $3,500 as your investment, and then you make $300 because you got 10 packs, because that's how much 10 packs would cost. So when you have those 10 packs and you make $1 a day, you're making at least 300 and something, which is 10% of 3,000.
Wait a minute.
And that's
If
a
you make,
return every month.
hold on,
So
hold
you're
on,
making
hold on.
120%. Because
But
the
wait.
initial, yeah, go ahead.
What was your? So hold on. Start your numbers again.
Yeah, so let's say we did every pack was like 500 for, I mean, 5 packs out of your 10 packs are 500 because you know the assault one.
Floor right
And
now
then
is
the rest of
0.1. But
Yeah,
that's
and then the rest
floor.
of your packs are the 130. That's what I did. So that equals around $3,800 or $3,500. So if you get $1 a day for every pack, you will be getting what is it? 300 something at the end of the month? 330, I mean 310, depending on how many days are in that month. And that's already 10% back on your whole investment in 1 month.
Well, if you get $1 a day times 10, that's $10 a day. Yeah, so $300 a month.
Yeah, exactly. So that's 10% of your whole investment a month. And the staking rewards that Binance is offering, which has the highest right now, which is 5%, is for the whole year. So anyone who's an investor can see that's a great return because you're getting 120, right? 120% return a year. That's
A year.
crazy.
All right. Well, there's only 79 on OpenSea right now that are buy now. The most expensive one is 2.6
I think
ETH.
1,000. Oh my God.
So even
that's
if you
what
wanted
they're
to do
overdoing
it,
it.
even if you were investing right now, right this second, you would have to have minimum is 0.1. And there's not a whole lot of them. Let's see here, 2, 3, 4. There's only 4 rows, so there's like 15 that are above 1 ETH. So the rest of them are all below at least 1 ETH. Most of them are below 0.4.
Yeah.
So I mean, it would, 10 grand or so, and you could basically have 100 NFTs. Or
Man.
close enough. You could have 80.
Yeah, this is like after doing those numbers, that's freaking insane. And that's only the bare minimum of $1, dude.
So for 10 grand, you'd have 80 NFTs, and a lot of them are F1s. I mean, they're almost like a chunk of them are zombie killers. 6 of them.
Yeah.
7, 8, 9. Yeah, a lot of them are zombie killer packs.
Yeah, because no one's trying to let them go unless they get a bag, boy.
Yeah, but these are buy nows. These are buy
Exactly.
now onlys. So
They're only available for that.
yeah.
Yeah, because I wouldn't want to sell it unless I got a bag too.
Well,
like a
even when
big bag.
I'll usually throw something up both auction and buy now. Like I'll throw it with a buy now price and an auction price.
Right.
So if people want to just buy it right away to have it, because they think it's gonna go higher,
I'm
then they can
only
do it.
buy now. I'm only buy now personally because I want what I want. And if it's good enough, then you don't want to accidentally auction it off for less.
Here's a zombie killer, 0.7. So, but I mean, your return on 10 grand would actually be pretty quick, because you're talking 80 fucking packs that would all pull.
You would get
minimum
it in a
$1
year.
day. Yeah.
Everyone who invests, whatever they invest,
And the chunk of them are zombie killers, so on top of that, the value alone of the pack by itself. This one here at 2.6 is probably the most realistic number of what it should be worth.
Mm-hmm.
Everything else is basically undervalued.
I promise you we're going to see a zombie killer pack one day at 10 ETH. No cap. In mid bull run, watch. I think the moment people watch the stream and hear those numbers, there's so many people that ape into staking. they got crushed because they can't trust that shit anymore. This is another way to get return beyond belief. 120% a year, that's crazy. But also, there's only how many in total NFTs? I forget exactly. It's not 2,500, is it?
For what? What's available?
Yeah.
For sale right now?
In total, the whole supply.
Yeah,
I
let me
think.
take the filter off.
3,300. There's like 30. Yeah, it's like
it
30,
says 2,500 just period for listing on
Genesis?
That's just for Genesis,
Yeah.
though. Yeah, yeah,
And then we're at
Okay.
686 for Apocalypse.
yeah.
And the reason why that changes is because, like, for instance, the ones that they gave to KG, myself, and Slayer, like our Christmas ones, I think that's when they gave them to us, right? It's Christmas?
Yeah, over
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, so they minted then. Like, I looked at I looked it up. So, they minted them for us. They weren't
Yeah,
like
like
held.
they paid for them.
Right, they weren't held. They got minted as they gave them.
Yeah.
And that's why they were randomized. And we just got lucky on the fact that we both got the same Macho do.
Yeah, that was pretty damn cool.
Yeah.
And yeah, Light Cloud just said, and that's right now. In a couple months, it could be a couple. And that's what I was saying earlier. Light Cloud is that's why when you promise a number,
That's why I'm
you
just
know,
looking at minimums. Like, I'm just gonna work off the minimum because
Exactly.
anything above that is extra, right? So I
Yeah,
used to have
that's the same
in my first marriage, and I still kind of do it. Like, to me, extra money is extra money. If out of nowhere $100 comes up, there's a reason for that, and I don't save it, and it gets applied, like, I use it. Like I'm not gonna hold on to it. I'm like, oh man, it's $100. It wasn't there. It wasn't planned for anything. There was no reason for it. It's just boom. Let's enjoy it, right? Let's be a part of life with that. So it's kind of the same thing with this, right? I'm looking at it as like, hey, look, I'm gonna make a minimum of $1 each a day. That's where I'm looking at it. It's $1 each. Anything above that $1 each is gravy, and is gonna be applied toward extra stuff.
Exactly, and that's how Grant talks about things and minimums too, which is really good for the community because people try to sell stuff because of false promises, but they're not about that at all.
yeah, that's why whenever someone like earlier in the chat there in Discord, they're like, we were promised $30 a day. I'm like, no, you weren't. Sorry. I'm not your dad. I'm not here to tell you that,
It was
that
never
what you're saying
guaranteed.
that's wrong.
They said
is right.
potentially. Yeah, they said you
Yeah.
could make 30. You could also potentially make 100 if you get extremely lucky that day.
Yeah,
Not
and then
saying
tomorrow you
every
might make
single day.
$1 for the next 57 and a half days until you make
Exactly.
$10, right?
Yes, precisely. So that's why, for the at least 2 months we've both been saying, look, we won't know what the average is until there's enough days to call it an average.
Yeah.
There you
And then
go.
you might,
So
and like you said, Nifty, you might have the luck like Diamond Hands and I
Right.
did that. Two of us pulled, it just so happens
Your
that the two of
average
us
is gonna
pulled
be
the
different
friggin'
than my
impossible
average.
thing, right?
yes,
Exactly.
everybody's averages are actually going to be different. So they'll be able to do a generalized average. They'll be able to say, well, we had this many players today, and the average is this, because that's just generalized. But the user experience will always be individual user experience based on both skill and luck.
I mean, but
So-
this guy, P. Schultz, like, no, I don't know how February 28th is quarter 4. So see, that's the problem is that people like
No,
you
they're
are
talking about
saying
from the very, very
false
get.
information.
They're talking about from the
that,
very get. Like when the very first white paper came out, it was supposed to be summer of last year or something like that.
Oh, 2022.
Right. That's what he means. He's not talking about now. No. He's just
And-
talking
and
about when the
and I will
initial
say-
investors bought in heavy, they were expecting things on that timeline, which again, I kind of get and I kind of don't. Like you're buying into a company that just launched to expect a timeline. I don't think any of the white papers that I've ever seen have been completely on time. Certain aspects will be on time.
Nothing is on time. My first
Right.
house I bought was supposed to be ready
That's true.
within 15 months, and 40 months later, we were able to move in as okay, you can move in, but it's not assumed by the city yet. It's not insurable yet. So it's like
Right.
it
It
is
still
just a
wasn't
part
ready.
of business, unfortunately, right?
Exactly, and P shows, your concern is super understood because at the end of the day, people want to rely on a white paper and all the time frames that are given. But luckily, the upside to this is that Undead Blocks is moving so fast compared to other projects that are stalling by years. So that's what I'm grateful for, but I hear your concern because at the end of the day, it's a real one.
And Schultz,
So
you're
thank you for
right.
commenting, bro.
You're bringing back to the circle when you said, but Grant hyped a lot, actually to a much earlier conversation in the 3-hour stream that we've had was exactly that. Just that there was a lot of oversharing, essentially, in what we've been doing. So we're just kind of getting back to the fact that because they wanted to be more open and presentable and perceivable and all that to our community, it kind of backed him in the corners in some ways too, because then when things had to change, oh well, you said this, well yeah, but that had to change.
Yeah, and again, we go to the fact that ETH was $4,000 when this
we first
project
did
when
this.
I
Right.
jumped into this
Yeah.
project in March on March 27th, ETH was $4,000. Now we're scraping at about 15.
Which
That's
is
a
up.
75% reduction in what you would perceive
Right.
to have in your war chest, for example, right?
And that's 20% up over the last 2 weeks. So it was
And that's-
actually down to just barely over 1,000 not that long ago.
Yeah, and like you said, that's still 93% down from where it was, right?
Yep. Yeah.
And exactly, Schultz, or P. Schultz, that's exactly it. ETH crushed all of us, and then now, luckily, we're with a company that is saying to themselves, okay, how can we make this continue to move forward, right?
In a fashion that works for us and for the players.
Yeah.
So even though it does obviously upset some of the larger purchasers, right? Because that's who it affects most, are the people that spent, especially in that early phase, $4,000
Exactly.
each to get into it, right? Where now people are able to lump into it for 0.7 ETH if they want on that same exact pack.
Right. Yeah.
So those are the people that are hurt, but that's outside of the effect of anybody. Period. I mean, there's no. Like we understand the sentiment about it, but you can't really hold anybody accountable for that directly, except maybe SBF if you want to.
You
Yes.
can hold them accountable for a lot, for sure.
Yeah. You can run after him if you want, but as far as Wagyu goes, I mean, everything's been, I mean, in the long run, it's almost kind of been too up and up. Like he's just been too much, just too much. And now it's okay. Like it's because we're at the point now where the game's about to come out, and now it's like, the Zomboss Weekly, which we should have any time now, is a good thing. My feeling is still, I really feel like we could close the beta for a month and just hype the game out and just be like, look, we have our beta testers. This is who we've got. You're already here. You're in. Anybody else can wait, so that there's no more like accidents of new people coming in and be like, oh yeah, I don't like this, and they walk away. That's my sentiment and feeling on that.
And when you say close the beta, though, what do you mean? Like you can't play it? Or
No,
just people
close the
who are
beta
in
to
are
new
in?
people. Right, you're here or
Right,
you're not
okay.
here. Don't leave it open for more new people to keep coming in, because that way we don't keep having the judgmental side of it. It's like, well, you're here, so you see where we're progressing from, and everybody else can wait that 1 month. I mean, we're a month away, literally, exactly to the day.
Yeah.
So why not close beta for a month and just let the couple thousand of us that actually play it, let us be the beta testers, and then start the advertising and the push. And then they could still announce it's in beta now, but now it's closed beta for the remainder. And then that way also they can give us those other tests that they want to test that they don't want people to be testing. You know what I mean? To just the closed beta users, so that they have the larger bulk, and we don't have some of these issues when they go to the larger bulk tests. Like they'll already be testing larger bulk on a daily basis.
Yeah.
So that's my thinking. But again, now this is also, as I always like to remind people, this is my thinking, not being inside the company and knowing how this works. So it's not even a layman's idea. It's like me just being, hey, this should work theoretically, but maybe it doesn't. So I don't know.
When did you find Undead Blocks, Schultz?
Mic off.
Just curious, because I found it, like I said, the day before Mint in March, so I know the feeling of being, the first, that's the thing. The first couple of times the pushbacks, I was like, because, you're expecting to start earning way back when, right? Okay, so around the same time. Yeah.
Mic on.
And that's what I was saying earlier. I think that the best move any company can learn from the last year is just never talk about making money from your game. That's it. Just stop that. Get that completely out of the lexicon of gaming and selling games. And, you know, if companies did that and just said, do you like the game? Yes or no? Then, you know, like a perfect example actually is this. So I jumped in on the Meta Ops tournament that's going on right now. Just, you know, something else to do. Right.
Right.
And I was like, obviously, oh, this guy's got 300 kills, 400 kills. And I was like, oh, okay, if you just keep grinding, eventually by the end of it, you know, you could, you know, if you get 100, next thing you know, you're at 400. But then I realized late last night or early this morning, whatever it was, that it was like, oh no, that's just your best one game that you can have. So the guy that has 600 kills is, you know, played the game for that long, right?
Right.
So even someone that, you know, like I do pay pretty close attention, I still can read something and think what I want to think as a best case for my own self, right?
True, exactly.
So it's like I read something and it's like, you know, it's like the telephone game. You tell someone something and then 4 people later,
It moves
you know,
on. Right.
you were talking about a purple elephant and then four minutes later you're talking about an orange, you know, orangutan or something, right? So...
Oh, shoot. I think I just messed my camera up.
Uh-oh.
I was I was reading texts and accidentally clicked on it.
Did you do a Flying Phoenix in a while?
Yeah, well, we're about to on the way out anyway, but no.
Oh, yeah.
Alright, there it is. Looks like are still holding pretty much at the $10 mark on skins.
Nice.
I don't think I've gotten anything sold yet. So that helps to open the right wallet.
DH, are you still there?
Yes, sir.
Oh, yeah.
Just did some research. I believe that the total amount anyone can ever rent or NFTs out is 6,000.
Yeah, because I think there was 3,500 potential from the.
Right, it's gonna be 6,000 total.
Yeah, it's
plus,
6,000 total. Yeah.
And it's not even from the way they explained it. Remember, at one point they said maybe plus 200 for the Wendigo, but as it's now been explained, it's basically all going to be one NFT. So it'll always be 6,000. It won't be 6,200.
Right, because it'll burn. That's right.
Right. Yeah. It won't be 6,200 total because you're just going to turn your NFT into a Wendigo and then start adding other weapons to it. So it should still say it's 6,000 total.
I'm about to open up a Chinese sweatshop for people to grind the Wendigo for me. Not really, but like, dog, that's how much I need that Wendigo, bro.
Yeah, that Wendigo is going to be... At least if you have one of them, it's like a good... You know, just something, I got it.
I'm going to recruit like 30 Gen Zs and be like, yo, I'll give you an NFT.
Maddox going up in value. There we go.
Is it?
Dude, Maddox going crazy. Crazy. That's my diamond hand.
Oh yeah, I've been Polygon. That's what I started the base of my business on, was being a Polygon expert.
Hell yeah.
That's why almost all the games. That's actually part of the reason why it took me so long to get into the Undead Blocks, because it wasn't a Polygon game, and I was only willing to look at Polygon games for the longest time.
I feel you. I just was in Polygon before it was Polygon. I was in Matic.
Yeah.
And I held at 1 cent. And then I sold before it hit $1, dude. I had over 150,000. I was so mad.
Jeez. Yeah, I'd be a little upset about that.
Yeah, but it's okay. I've been holding recently.
No, he didn't always state like loud. He
didn't.
didn't. He actually didn't really. They thought maybe there would be a separate Wendigo NFT, possibly, but he never actually stated that it would be. And now he's officially stated that you're burning your weapons into the Wendigo on the same NFT. So you're not gonna. It won't be a different NFT. It'll be the same NFT, because then you'll have to. The intelligent person is going to make sure that they have enough gold Z-Bucks after they do the burning to be able to add at least 1 or 2 more weapons to it right away, so that they don't have to just try to grind out for whatever the cost of a fucking Wendigo is to try to use the damn gun.
Like, people are gonna have to realize, like...
No, at one time he said that it might be separate. Like, they were thinking about making it 2 separate things. They weren't sure how they were going to do it at that point in time. We're talking like 3, 4, 5 months ago. Yes, there was the potential idea, Light Cloud, but right now, as you can see how it's already set up just from the last time he spoke about it, is that Is you're literally just gonna burn your weapons into the Wendigo that you have in that NFT, and then it becomes a Wendigo, and then you'll have to add more weapons to your Wendigo NFT. Yeah.
And there will only be 200 as well, so people gotta realize fast, like, you better have 2 zombie killer packs if you even want one of the Wendigos, because at the end of the day, when you get your zombie killer, you're gonna have more chance to kill things faster, and everyone's gonna realize that. And I think only the zombie killer owners that are willing to sacrifice their zombie killer will get it, because there's only gonna be 200. So that would be the meta.
It depends on how the whales decide to spend their golden Z-Bucks. Because you can have 50.
That's
you
right.
can have
It
50
was on the
rookie
website
packs
for a while.
Yeah, well, you could have 50 rookie packs that all pull in, whatever golden Z-Bucks a day they earn, and just you can apply all of them to one pack, and just rank out one. Yeah, because it's account bound. Gold Z-Bucks are account bound, so whoever has the most packs is going to be able to grind it out the fastest, because they're going to be able to.
So that tells me that we're screwed.
Yeah, they're going to be able to apply it to one pack. All of their earnings of all of their packs. And they're cut in a division into one pack, and just boost that up as fast as they can.
So they're the sweatshop.
Right.
Fuck.
Right. So
depending on how many packs you have, you could still you could do still the same thing.
You might have the chance.
It
You're right. It just depends on how much how smart they are and how fast they are about it. Now here's the one thing. The types of whales that I'm talking about don't watch our show, so don't worry about it. They don't hear the strategy. So.
Airdrop me some tax whales.
And those people probably don't even care the same way that someone who's actually going to be
playing,
playing.
Well, no, they'll want it just because the value of having it, right? There's only ever 200 of them, so the value, they'll want it, right? They're gonna want it. Not even so much because of them playing it or not playing it, just because of the value of what it is to have, the only 200 windows ever to be in existence. So.
Yeah, and I think, but I mean, it's something to think about too. Is there's only 300 and change zombie killers out there, anyways, right?
Right.
So it's not, I
mean, because it doesn't burn the perks; it just burns the weapons.
Yeah, and if those people are renting those ones as well, now depending on what their split is, that's why I'm really excited to see what people's move is for renting and having packs, and who and how the splits go, and it's going to be a major it's going to be one of the bigger parts of the game eventually.
It'll work its way out and even out, and then it'll just have values, right? It'll have a market value, it'll just be like, okay, well, this is what everybody else is doing, so this is what it's worth, and this is what I'm going to do too. And it'll just kind of hit its peak and hit its market value. Now, maybe some people will be less, worried about it, and maybe not be as sweaty about it, and just especially when the market becomes automated. When it gets to the point where they can just put it up and walk away, those will be the people that aren't paying attention to it, and then whatever they stay at, they stay at.
Yeah.
But then there will be people that will be paying attention to it every day, and like, oh, well, right now the weapon pack with this perk, and the MP5, and this and that is worth this, and that's what it'll, and that's how they'll do their, the true business minded that are looking at it in that way.
Yeah, and then it'll be dependent on, like we've talked about, like your favorite is the MP5, mine's the F1, secondary is the the AKM. So there'll be inherent value to the person who's looking at buying it if they're looking at it for themselves too, right?
Right. Well, I know that I'm going to eventually build out all of mine to just have everything. Eventually, right?
Yeah, that's the long term for sure. Yeah. But that could take.
Who knows,
right?
Right. Who knows? Depends how lucky we get, right?
Right.
So the one thing that we know is that we do a show 6 days a week, and that as soon as the game is live, it's going to be more than just 3 hours. So, I'm fairly confident that I'm gonna, and then even after the show, I'm going to be playing on my own. So, because I'll probably have fun playing it solo just as much as I do, duos and teams and squads.
Yeah, and at first the duos doesn't even have earnings on it either. So.
Right.
Like at first, it's only solos that have the earning. So even if we have the show going, me and you playing together, it's not even going to give us a chance to earn.
Together. It'll just be right.
Yeah, have two screens going.
Right, we can do like we were doing before, where we'll both we'll do a, you'll stream on yours, I'll stream on mine, and we can share each other's, and then just, what I mean?
Yeah, like pin it to the screen, exactly.
Right, so we can still play, for everybody to watch and see what each other's getting. But I'm just saying, just like in general, it'll be a different aspect of the game when it happens.
Yeah, exactly.
And a lot of people will just work the market, like I used to for World of Warcraft.
Just have
that'll
the stuff
be
and sell it.
Yeah, that'll be the only thing they do is they'll buy and sell and run the market. Because when there's enough people playing that there's 10,000 coffins getting bought every day, those are going to get flipped. That means there's probably going to be, right now we've only got a couple hundred up for sale. When there's thousands of people playing, there's going to be thousands of them up for sale. So
because you're going to,
there'll be an actual market. Here's somebody just posted one that's unopened for $9.
Huh.
So, and then you'll have those that, just play that side of the game. What's up, Tripco Scrox? You're just getting in, we're just about to head out. We're just talking about, potential market futures for both renting and purchasing. So tomorrow is Saturday. Tomorrow is Sub Saturday. I will not have the Ark ready by tomorrow, just to let you guys know. But we'll play some games together. Maybe some Rocket League, maybe some Bobblehead. Make sure you guys are here for it. Kind of want to play some Bobblehead today, but didn't get to it. Forgot about it. We were talking a lot about good stuff.
Exactly.
So we're going to head out for now, guys. We appreciate you for being here. I'm going to look to see if there's anybody in the... There is... Nope. Nobody.
Nobody.
You guys want me to start streaming?
Nobody. I mean, I'm not telling you what to do. You're your own boss.
Let's fucking do it.
You're your own boss.
Time in hands with the plan.
I'm going in.
The hell happened to my charging cord? There it is.
Alrighty.
Damn, you get going that quickly?
Yes, sir.
Gee, man.
There's solid state drives, man.
Damn.
Hard.
D
right,
to
guys.
the H.
I'm gonna run an ad, and then we will go ahead and catch on up with whatever Diamond Hands is playing.
Peace out, everybody.
Zombie Network News is powered by FlyingPhoenixPCs.com, Quality Reborn. Go to FlyingPhoenixPCs.com to get your quality custom PC using coupon code ZNNUB at checkout for some amazing savings. They even have pre-built PCs with prices starting at just $700. Support Zombie Network News when buying your new PC from FlyingPhoenixPCs.com by using the coupon code ZNNUB.